And welcome to Real Talk Sports with Rico. Today, I will be your host, guys. Today, I have a special show for you. We are going to be talking about the Saturday and Sunday NFL playoff games, along with some of the coaching firings here. And, guys, you know it's the new year, right? And you know what Kobe did, right? When he moved from 8 to 24. And because of that, it's new year, new time, guys. We got you right here at this very nice locker room setting right now. So shout out to Podcast Place. But I got somebody special in the building for you guys, backed by popular demand. It is Davontae, the real Hogan is in the building.
Ooh, let's get it.
Let's go.
I'm so excited, man. Thanks for having me back on. We got a good show. We got a jam-packed show today, man. I'm ready.
Ab-
Excited.
Absolutely, man. So how you feeling so far?
Well, we're 10 days in the new year, and I'm still being consistent. So
Consistent,
one
baby.
day at a time, baby.
Consistent. So, I mean, we got a lot of NFL games to talk about here. And
Yes.
so I figured we would start off right into it on Saturday. We have the Houston Texans and we have those Cleveland Browns. And we
Man, them
have,
Browns, man.
they are visiting Houston.
Yeah.
And so to start off here, last time Cleveland won this game 36-22, I believe. I'm going
Yeah.
to check my stats here.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud was not out there.
That's the X factor.
That was the X factor. However, there was this guy named Amari Cooper, and I'm pretty sure if you had him in your fantasy football league that week, that guy won it for you. He
Yeah.
just had 11 receptions,
Right.
265, 2 touchdowns. He's playing like he was, a turkey ball.
But yeah, he's out there by himself,
you know.
basically. Yeah.
And pretty much Flacco was just lighting up the secondary here. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start here with this point. What are you thinking thus far with that score? We know CJ Stroud was out. Amari Cooper had a big one. He
Yeah.
has been on the shelf a little bit with an injury since then. He
Yeah,
will
that's
be
the
fresh for
tricky
this game.
part, man. Look, I think the whole Deshaun Watson thing was kind of like overshadowing this team. This
Yeah.
team was built up right.
Yeah.
Their defense is led by Miles Jack. Let me see. He had 14 sacks this year. He had like and that'll be a great year for most like edge rushers, but that was a bad year for him.
Mm-hmm.
But their secondary, man, that kid they got, what his name, Emerson.
Mm-hmm.
You got him on the left. You got Denzel Ward on the right, man. Their defense is allowing 74.7%. That's second in the league on quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They're not passing the ball effectively on this defense. So the only thing I would say is if like you said, Stroud was the X factor. So if he can come in and I think he is that dynamic. He can come in and make the changes necessary for that game. But Flacco got he only played 5 games, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He's a turnover machine, and then I feel like if Stingley Jr. and Steven Nelson can capitalize, I think Houston can take this one.
And backing up to what you were saying, you talked about Myles Garrett and going back to this Cleveland Browns defense. Myles Garrett comes in with 14 sacks here. He's tied for 7th in the league.
Right.
He also has 4 forced fumbles here. And what really scares me here about Stroud is the fact that when he played against the Ravens and he played against the Saints, he struggled against those elite defenses. This is going to be a true test here because this really feels like an any given Sunday situation. It looks like basically, the environment is going to be heightened here.
Mhm.
The stakes are a little bit higher here. And unlike a seasonal game, if he makes a mistake here, those can be really big here. How do you feel about CJ Stroud and that pressure when I kind of mentioned that? Do you think that he is going to be able to, and essentially outlast that pressure? Because I think that yes, he has got some good things coming out of the running game, but I think a lot of the times when you look at CJ Stroud, especially last week against the Colts,
Yeah.
and what he was able to do with Nico Collins,
Yeah.
he was able to create there. And I don't know if those pockets and those windows are going to be there against an elite pass rush with Cleveland, where they don't necessarily have to call a blitz and they can get to you.
Yeah, so the great equalizer is if the running game isn't working, the quick passing game. And Dalton Schultz for the Texans, he was second most targeted on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Stroud, I feel like one good thing they have is they have tape of how since they only played like 2 weeks ago, week 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have recent game footage. It's not like the teams were different. They played like week 1 or something. This is a recent team.
Mhm.
So I feel like Stroud in that offense, Devin Singletary is going to be the driving factor. You want to take the pressure off your rookie quarterback early and often. Let him play comfortable. But honestly, I've seen Stroud in bad situations this season. Case in point, the Tampa Bay Bucs game.
Yeah.
Baker let him down, scored 45 seconds. You would think like that would be stressful for a vet quarterback, but
They're just gonna fold.
yeah,
They're
but
just
he
gonna
was
fold.
he was like Andrew Luck out there, man. He was cool, calm, and collected, and he led them on the drive and won the game. So I'm not worried about him in those situations, but you don't want to put Stroud in this offense in those types of situations. I feel like if you do the quick passing, use the run game, keep Miles Garrett on the defense of like I don't know if they're gonna run it, play action. Because if they're gonna just be in passing situations, Garrett's just gonna pin his ears back and come after you.
And the thing about that too, one more point with Myles Garrett and that pass rush here is the Texans gave up 47 sacks here, which is
Yeah,
tied for 22nd in the league.
yeah,
You have that rookie quarterback back here. And with Devin Singletary, you bring up a great point. He's coming in 898 yards on a 4.2 a carry, which is
yeah.
pretty good
That's
with
good. Yeah, that's good average. Yeah,
with four touchdowns here. So essentially, I think that as great as Stroud has been, he is going to have a balanced attack. And
of
I'm hoping
course.
that Coach Ryan has that really drawn up in the playbook here for
Yeah,
Stroud and company. And the one thing that I do want to go back to is you talked about Joe Flacco and you're questionable with Joe Flacco. And I totally feel that. But I will say this with Flacco. He's won a chip with the Ravens, if I'm
true.
not mistaken here. Over his last 4 games, he's thrown 300 plus.
Yeah,
So, I mean, this guy right here, he's like a stove.
yeah,
He's sizzling hot. Like, I don't even know if you want to be around him in the locker room, you might get burned because he's that hot right now. Seriously.
right. No,
And
that's
with his
fair.
ability to pretty much dice up the secondary. And the one thing that I will say about the secondary of the Texans here is they have given up 7.7 yards
Hmm.
per pass attempt here, 11.3 yards on completion here, which is
Yeah,
26 in the league. So they're a stingy defense, but they give up
the
really
chunk
big
plays they
splash
do.
plays.
Yeah,
And that kind of really scares me
yeah.
a little bit with this
And
backfield.
that I agree with you on that. That's why I feel like Coach Ryan's going to have his defense, him being on the defensive end as a linebacker in the league. You have to think he is aware of that. You have game footage of how Amari went off on you for 265 just on 11 catches.
Mhm.
So you have to be wary of that. So I don't know what his game plan is going to be. Maybe play zone, maybe two deep safeties. I don't know, or maybe he's aggressive and Joe Flacco is 38. He's not a mobile quarterback like a Stroud or
Sure.
Hurts, Jackson. So maybe you pin your ears back, use Will Anderson to come after him. So that I feel like they have a good counter plan. I do understand with Flacco with the 300 yards, but man, it's just like
Yeah.
my boy came off the couch and
Sure.
he just
Yeah.
I always have this inkling of like when quarterbacks come out of nowhere, give it time. The defensive coordinator is gonna figure you out, and then you're gonna have to adjust.
Yeah.
And you kind of start seeing that with Flacco. It's like, all right, man, you're throwing 300 yards a game in the last five, but it's like, how
Mhm.
many interceptions are you turning? You turning the ball over too.
He's turned the ball over pretty much
Yeah,
each time that he's been out there. Like
yeah,
that is a given.
yeah. I
He
think
has
he's
thrown
thrown
it.
like one interception a game,
Yeah, at least
minimum.
in every game he has thrown an interception.
Hmm.
That is for sure. And the one thing that I will say about Joe Flacco too is that he does have one of the best tight ends in the league as well. Okay.
Njoku, yeah,
Yeah, he does have one of the
underrated.
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't get talked about enough.
Does not get talked about enough. Here's a guy, 81 receptions, 882 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Woo.
He essentially was the best tight end in the league. And so I just think if you take away Amari Cooper and
Hmm.
what he was able to do is 72 catches, 1,250 on the year
Right,
with 5 TDs, he has checkdowns here.
he does.
Right. And he also does too have a running game as well,
Yeah,
because I think a lot of people thought that
when Chubb went
when
down, it was
Chubb went down,
over.
they were going to have anything. And
Yeah,
so it just feels like to me, Cleveland might be a little bit more balanced than the Texans.
100%. Yeah, I mean, like
But
this team was a quarterback. Like that
yeah,
was the only position, and you gotta if you're a Cleveland fan, you gotta ask yourself,
yeah,
this is what Deshaun Watson should have been doing for us.
yeah.
We paid him way more than than he was willingly deserved, but
And I don't think he's coming back.
and
I don't
that's
think he can come. I mean, literally, if Joe Flacco wins a game
yeah,
and takes these guys deep,
yeah,
I seriously think that what happened with Russell Wilson, I think we're headed to that situation with Deshaun Watson.
yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there.
but they didn't give up for the difference is they didn't give up like 4 or 5 first round draft picks for Russell Wilson.
They didn't, but they gave up a lot of financial gain.
Yeah, but that you can take that because now you're not sacrificing your future. as a Denver Bronco. But Cleveland, it's like, man, we got a 30-year-old quarterback doing what this 27-year-old quarterback should be doing, and we paid him the most money guaranteed in NFL history. So, but I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game. I really feel like if the Texans can control Cleveland's pass rush,
Yeah.
they're gonna and you're at home, you're gonna have the crowd with you. That is a plus, especially for a young quarterback in his first ever playoff game. I mean, what this kid did, man. I remember the stigma of Ohio State quarterbacks was they're
Yeah.
not good.
Talk about it.
Him and Fields, man, have just like
Talk about it.
just like shattered that. Like, don't even bring that up no more.
You had Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
You've had Troy Smith.
Yeah. Did JT Barrett even get drafted?
JT Barrett. You
Yeah.
had Terrell Pryor out there. You
Yeah.
had Cardell Jones
Oh
out
man,
there.
kinda
Right.
like Jones, baby.
Right. All these
Cowboys.
man, remember Jim Tressel and all these quarterbacks, right? And it's like they got to the league and it
Disappeared.
didn't happen.
Yep.
And I give CJ Stroud so much credit.
Yeah.
I really love to watch this guy play. And with that being said, you know what this means. We've got to throw the thunder down on it because it is prediction time.
Let's go, baby.
Who do you have in the game? What's the score?
I got the Texans.
Yeah.
31-28.
I love it. I love it. 31-28.
I'm gonna write this down so we can see how
Let's
how
see
good I
what's
am.
going on here. Because I, too, actually have the Texans as well. And I feel like that the Texans are going to win this game 24-21.
So you
Okay.
think it'll be more of a low scoring defensive game?
I think there's going to be plays to be had, and I think it's going to get tight. A lot like it was with that Colts game last week. I think it's going to come down to a possession, and I like
Yeah.
CJ Stroud to pull this thing out.
I agree with that. I feel like
I mean, both kickers are very good, too.
oh yeah.
Both kickers.
We didn't even talk about we didn't even give them the kickers no love.
You give the kickers pub.
Yeah,
because they're
man.
nice.
Yeah. They
So-
come in through. But I feel like Flacco's gonna march him down, score, and it's gonna put it on the kid's shoulders, and the kid gonna do what the kid does. He did in Ohio State. He's like nothing new, just different environments. I'm still that dog.
Still that dog.
Yeah, still that dog, baby. So I got Stroud, baby. Let's go.
Guess like you, we will find out.
Let's go, baby.
Is it true?
Believe what they say.
Is it true? Is it true? All right. So that brings us up to the next game. And the next game on the schedule here, as we go through this, see, we got. What's next up for Saturday?
Dolphins and Chiefs, baby.
All right. Getting up there. So Dolphins and the Chiefs. And we know we got Solomon on the ones and twos back here.
Solomon.
He is rooting
Dolphins
for the
fan,
Dolphins back
yes.
here.
Tua, don't let him down, Tua.
Tua, don't let him down. And
Please.
so,
Yeah, please.
you know how I feel about players and getting the bag.
Mm.
It's something about the bag that makes them want to go out and perform. And that's where Tua is at right now.
Right.
Right? Tua is in a situation.
This is contract year?
Oh, is it his contract year?
Okay.
Is it his contract year?
Yeah.
I wish I had the bag of money to rain down on me because
Yeah.
it's contract time, baby.
Ooh.
It's
That's why he balling, huh?
Oh, yeah. As he's flexing on the screen right now, if you look at the graphics, that's what he's saying.
Let's go.
Money, 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 money. Money. So
You gotta
initially,
get that bag.
let's look at this thing because as you look in the graphics, guys, right now, you're seeing the snow out there. It is going to be abysmal in the sense that you may not see the snow, but I am told here that it is going to feel a lot like -2 out there. And here's one thing that I will throw out there for the Dolphins fans. Get your Pepto-Bismol right now because every time that it is gone under 20, I believe they're 0-10. I'm just saying, I'm not calling a winner and a loser. I'm just saying that's why I got my man Davontae, the real Hogan. Maybe he talks some sense into it right now.
Oh, man.
Shed some light first off. What do you got?
I mean, 0-10, man. Look at the Pistons right now, dude. I mean, like, you owing something. The first thing you hear is Like,
Yeah,
man, he ain't won
like
it.
that. Oh, is just and not in a good way.
But for them to get that first dub,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a good stat. I like that. You pulled that one out the vault.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Come on, man. I got your layup. Come on.
They gotta
pull it
run the
off,
ball, baby. You gotta lead. I didn't even know this, but Mostert led the league in touchdowns.
He did. He was a beast, man.
That is clutch.
They essentially, to me, the Miami Dolphins, the one thing I will give them, having been a track and field guy, is they have a track team.
They got,
Like they literally got a track
ballers,
team.
man.
They have a track team, and I mean, I think the knock about the Dolphins is they don't run the football enough.
Yeah,
I mean, you got all these shiny toys out here to
I
throw
agree.
to. Run the football.
But
There's nothing wrong with
that's the
smashing people in the
difference.
mouth.
The coach wants to be a Lamborghini when you need to be that Toyota Tundra, get that 4-wheel drive dirty, get in the mud, get mucky.
That's what I'm
You know
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
right there.
Man,
Give him the thunder on that.
I gotta give it to my boy Rico, man. He told me before the season started about this kid, Davontae. He's like,
Uh-huh.
watch out for this dude.
Yeah.
This dude is gonna be a big time player.
Yeah.
I never heard of him until Rico told me, so I gotta give you your flowers on that. But man, you gotta run the ball, man. Even though Mahomes is having a bad year,
Yeah.
and we all can agree on that.
Oh, go. Can we?
But he's still, especially at home,
Yeah.
you still got Kelsey.
Yeah.
And he's still a dynamic player.
Mm-hmm.
The formula to beat Mahomes in the playoffs,
Yeah.
keep the ball out of his hands.
Sure.
How do you do that? Time of possession. Control the clock, control the momentum, wear that defense out. Steve Spagnuolo defense is a beast right now, man. They're leading this team.
Bruh.
One more time, what'd you say?
Bruh.
You got to keep him off the field?
Gotta run that ball, baby.
Bruh.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it, man.
That's dope.
And I love what you're saying right there. So to go back to your point, man, with Aiken and Mozart, let's start with Aiken.
Okay.
800 yards, 7.8 a carry,
Woo.
which is ridiculous
My boy,
right there. If it is 10 yards to get to the first down, let's just put that in perspective. 7.8 a touch is ridiculous. If you got him in fantasy football, he was that guy that was like, well, he's showing some good signs in the camp. You picked him up. He probably won your championship. Next up, you have Mozart. And Mozart, like you said, led the league in touchdowns.
That was crazy.
Got
And
it
he
done,
was
man.
injured too, wasn't he? He missed like a few games.
As usual.
That's the thing about him. See, it's like I feel like Dolphins have a good situation here because Achane seems more like the back between. I mean, the back that can run between the tackles, and you bring in Mostert to hit him with the haymaker. You know what I'm saying? But this is like if you're looking at stats, if you're an analytics guy, the Chiefs' defense of strength is their pass defense. They have 57 sacks this year. That's second. Quarterback hits, they're second. Tua is, we know he's injury prone, so if you can't keep him clean, he kind of, shows those tendencies. But their run defense, they allow 4.6 yards. That's tied for 28th. And you just said Achane gets 7.8. If I'm Mike, what's his name, Mike McDaniels, the coach there, I'm running down their throws.
Yeah.
I'm running down their throws.
Great point, man, because like you said, the Chiefs are 4.6 yards per carry here, which is tied for 28th in the league. They are second in sacks here and QB hits as well. So Chris Jones and these guys are doing a terrific job of getting home.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I love about Steve Spagnuolo, he's always been an aggressive coordinator. Always been an aggressive coordinator.
Loves the blitz.
But it's interesting to me because actually they've been able to get home, and I don't think they're calling a lot of blitzes
It's
here.
by committee. They're getting sacks by committee. It's not just one guy. I mean, I know in the past they had like what's his name, Frank Clark and all them boys, but now it's just like you got these guys that are just coming. They draft well, they build a good team, and then they just pinning their ears back and going after them.
Yeah, and going back to, the pass rush, right? So let's start with Tua. They lost 21-14, I believe, in London.
In Germany.
In Germany, excuse me. Okay. So in that situation, when you go back, what was the one thing that really hurt Miami? It was the turnovers, and it was Tua in the turnovers. That's the one thing that I've always talked about with him. It's either health or turnovers. Okay, he turned the football over in some unexcusable ways.
But he turned it over. Why? Because they was getting to him.
They was getting to him.
He got
Absolutely.
happy feet.
And that's the whole thing when you kill a finesse offense. What you have to do, you got to hit him in the mouth. And that's exactly what I think the Chiefs are going to do. It's going to be cold conditions. And this is where I'm just wondering, is McDaniels or Coach?
Yeah, I think it's Mike McDaniels.
Okay, is Coach McDaniels, is he going to run the football? He has to run the football. He has to run the football.
Even if you don't,
he has to run the football.
even if you want to be like a pass team in this game, you still got to run it just to keep them honest.
Yeah.
Just to give them that threat. Because I got a stat for you bringing stats out the vault.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are 1-5 when Tua has taken 3 or more sacks this season.
Absolutely. I have that one down too as well. Yeah. And it's crazy too. I think he's going to get sacked in this football game. I think so. Because I think when you put him in the shotgun situation, that's just going to set you up for we're coming for you.
Yeah.
I think so. And I really haven't seen a lot of game film where Tua is under center, which really scares me in this game because I don't know if they're going to – I think they're going to stay true to form. They're going to go with a lot of shotgun sets.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to put Tua under center. That's
fine. It's not that's not the issue. The issue is how quickly are you getting the ball out of his hand? Like, are you using heel in motion? Are you putting Waddle in motion?
which I think is gonna be key. I
You
think
got
Waddle's the
to.
key. I think Waddle is the key. It's not Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
'Cause Tyreek, he's gonna stretch the field.
Yeah.
You have got to be able to hit Waddle over the middle of
Yeah.
the field. He's got to execute in that linebackers right in front of the safeties.
Mhm.
Tua has
In
got
that
to
sweet
be
spot.
yeah, he's got to be precision. The one thing that we say about Tua is his accuracy.
Let me
That
ask you this though about that.
yeah.
In this condition, do you trust Tua's arm strength? Or do you need him to be a Peyton Manning and don't rely on arm talent, but timing and where your receiver's supposed to be, like throwing to where your receiver's supposed to be?
Let me say this. This is going to be a game where Tua is not going to win this with just elite
That's
arm
fair.
strength.
That's fair.
This is going to be a chess match. This is going to be it's muddy, it's snowy, they're hanging off me. This is going to be we're coming down to the last bout in this game. This is literally going to be a 21-14 game. Like it's not for the people out there that think this is going to be fireworks and
Mhm.
Tyreek Hill is going to come back to Arrowhead
Yeah.
and he's going to score. That is not happening. You forget that. I think this is going to be an ugly football game, and
Mhm.
it is going to come down to the fact that he has got to hit Kansas City with zones because they're not just going to sit there and go man coverage and let Tyreek Hill
Yeah.
have a homecoming. It's
That's
not
fair.
happening.
I
It's
agree.
not happening.
I agree with that because I could see that where Belichick used to do that all the time, where he was like, "We're gonna take what you do best and take it away from you."
Yeah.
And they don't mind you beating them, but you're not gonna beat like Kansas City. I'm sure Spagnola's like, "We don't care if you beat us. We just not gonna let Hill and Waddle go off."
Right.
But with that being said, they did struggle in Germany, but they're leading the league in points. They're averaging almost 30 points a game in Miami
Yeah.
offense. So their offense is electric and it can catch fire. And Patrick, like we talked about it a little bit earlier, Patrick Mahomes is suffering. Well, not suffering. He's playing bad.
Mhm.
And I remember watching the Thanksgiving game, or no, was it? It was Christmas.
Mhm.
Uh, Against the Raiders, man, he didn't look good at all. And if Miami can get a little bit of pressure, not even sack him, but just have Mahomes, because that Raiders game, Mahomes, he didn't get. I think he only got sacked like 4 or 5 times that game. But every time he said "hut," he was always running for his life.
And I love the fact that you bring into the defense before we go into a prediction for this one. Okay, so Miami third in sacks. Okay,
Right behind Kansas City, because Kansas City second.
56 in QB hits,
Ooh.
but no Jalen Phillips,
Okay. I didn't
no
know that.
Chubbs anymore. Chubbs blew out his Achilles, and you don't have Jalen Phillips as well.
How long they been out?
They've been gone for I think Chubb was out maybe like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And then I think Phillips has been out for some time too. I think he went down in the Jets game, if I'm not mistaken.
I
I
about to
think
say
it was the Jets game.
they've been producing without him, so but that's recent. So
They've been producing. Jalen Ramsey does have the 3 picks, if I'm not mistaken. He's been holding it down back there on the back line.
he's been
but
quiet this year.
He's been quiet. He has made some plays in his presence known out there. I mean, the Bills games, it kind of looked like he was out here in California on skates a little bit. But hey,
Yeah.
he's been doing the brunt of the work right there with the main coverage. So
Yeah.
I will give him that credit.
Is my boy still there? Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard, I feel like we'd have to check that and see if he's
Mhm.
still on there. I think as of last season, I know he was still
Yeah.
on the roster. I'm not sure about this season.
I like my boy the safety. What's his name? I keep want to say Jalen Petrie from Houston, but that's not him. What is his name? Number 8, Javon Holland.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like him. So
Okay. Okay.
so man, that's what I'm saying. If that front seven can just, because Kansas City, like this is what a lot of teams that don't run the ball well should implement,
Mhm.
because Kansas City does this well. They use the quick passes, the screens to get Pacheco, to get like what's his name, White.
McKinnon, you have
Yeah.
McKinnon, you have Clyde Edwards over
Yeah.
there. You have Isaac Pacheco,
yeah.
right? You have a Rashid Rice,
White.
excuse
Rice,
me,
Rice, yes,
Rice there. So they do have a young receiving core.
Mhm.
They
They got receivers that can't
got
get
Malcolm
open.
Holmgren, or excuse
Yeah.
me, gosh, Mikael
McCole Hardman.
McCole Hardman, excuse
Yeah.
me. He's back
Okay.
as well. They got him back from the Jets, and so, I mean, I feel you. I mean,
But you see, like what Andy Reid is trying to do. He's trying to scheme his receivers open, because
yeah,
a good coach knows your weakness.
yeah,
So he knows his receiver's not gonna beat anybody really one on one. That's what Tyreek Hill was.
Yeah.
You don't have that no more.
Yeah.
So you have to scheme them open with quick passes, quick okay, so yeah, we got Xavier Howard. Yeah, he's still there. So
Okay.
yeah, man.
Appreciate Solomon back
Yeah,
here on the
Solomon
stats.
Solomon looking out for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like the Dolphins in this one.
Okay. So let me go ahead and give you a little.
Yeah. Cue me up. Let's go,
All
baby.
right, baby. Give me
All
what
right.
you got. What's the score and why is it
Let
happening?
me What's the weather conditions again?
So I think it's going to be close to -2 is how it's going to feel.
No
You
snow
might,
though?
yeah, it might
A
get
little
some snow.
windy?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be windy for sure.
Okay.
With the wind chill, I think it's going to be it's going to feel like a -2 out there.
If the Dolphins listen to my game plan
Yeah.
and run the ball, I got the Dolphins winning this 24-17.
Okay, I like it. But me personally,
Uh-oh.
I like Kansas City 20-17. And let me say
Okay.
this with Kansas City. The last team to win a Super Bowl
Mhm.
with a top 4 defense and the 15th ranked offense was the Denver Broncos. Remember that with Peyton Manning in 2015.
That was, yeah, when he got carried that year.
And
Because that was against my boy Cam.
right?
That was a hard one to watch, man.
And guess what the Kansas City Chiefs have? They
Top
have
4 defense.
top 4 defense
15
and the
offense.
15th ranked offense. So let me say this.
Mhm.
It's not how you start,
How you finish?
but how you finish. I'm just saying.
Let's go Dolphins.
All right, let's go. Let's get up to this next game here. So we're going into our third game, having some fun, guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying the content here. Make sure that you definitely press like and subscribe. And if you are a content creator, make sure you check out the podcast place, man, where you can get your very own locker set up, just like this. Your podcast. Be creative. That's all I'm saying. Just a shout out there to the sponsors, man. All right, man. So let's get into this next game. Who do we got?
We got Pittsburgh and Buffalo, man.
Love it. Woo, another frigid game because it is going to be snowing out there.
Man, this is isn't it what's playoff football supposed to be? Just like ugly football, just ugly, no finesse, just gritty.
Yeah. This is going to be a nasty, gritty game. I'm looking at Buffalo. I'm looking at Pittsburgh, and you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of just the straight, just workers mentality. Like I feel like this
Like
is a
blue collar
worker. Like we're putting our overalls on and we're gonna go to work out here. I feel like this is gonna be this type of game, and I feel like it's just gonna be like my man Al Pacino said in Any Given Sunday, man on man. Let's do it together.
Oh, we got the movie references, y'all. We got everything on the
we're
podcast.
Gonna find out who wants that inch.
That's
out here because I feel like that's what it's gonna come down to out here in the snow.
What my boy Les Brown say, inch by inch.
Inch by inch.
Anything is a cinch, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go, baby.
Step for step and play for play. So initially, what are your thoughts coming into this one? I think a lot of people, if they're looking at this, is like, why are we watching this? The Bills are going to win it. And I would say not
so fast.
This
probably is, out of all the games this weekend,
yeah,
it's probably the 2 hottest teams. Pittsburgh is riding a 3-game win streak that they had to have in order to make the playoffs. And on top of that, they needed a little bit of help. And then Buffalo's riding a 5-game win streak. And then they won a division off of that. Buffalo offense this year, even though Allen has kind of had like a rocky year statistically, they still averaged they was 6th in points per game.
Yeah.
So they was in the top 10 offensively.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, can Pittsburgh's defense stop Buffalo's offense?
And let me throw that out there too. You mentioned a great stat with the 6. They're also 1st in 3rd downs, meaning that they are hard to come off the field.
That is
so that's a critical stat.
That is a crucial stat. Yeah, because now what you're saying is you're not afraid of 3rd down.
No, and that's where the game's won. Really,
that's where the game's won. That's where time of possession's won. That's where drives can keep going and build momentum.
Yeah,
and that also, especially in like cold games, that wears the defense out.
And let me throw this out there, okay? So we know that the Bills are dynamic and staying on the field, so they potentially could grind down the clock. A lot of what they did to Miami, right?
Right.
They basically took Miami, put them in the chokehold, and they bullied them, right? And that's what they did towards the end. They just basically bullied them. But here's the deal that I will say about Pittsburgh's defense coming into this, all right? They are a top-tier defense that only gives up 19 points a game, and they are 6th in the league for that. But in red zone, defense.
Yeah.
They are 5th in the league.
That-
Okay, so that means when you get
Clutch.
inside the 20,
You ain't
don't
getting
think
nothing.
that you get some points up out of here.
You might get 3 just because they nice.
Yeah,
They let
man.
you have that, but
I hear my lady from what is it, the Nutty Professor? She says, yeah, you come over here, but you're gonna be limping back. You know, that's what you're gonna get right there when you come in there against Pittsburgh. You're gonna be limping back because that defense is
shout out to
feisty.
Grandma Clump.
Yeah.
But
Hey, feisty.
I love Nutty Professor, man. That was a great movie. But the only thing I'm sad about, man, Pittsburgh won't have Watt.
Yeah.
He led the league in sacks this year with 19. You do have my boy Highsmith.
Life's not fair, is it?
Yeah, it's just not fair.
I like that. Life's not fair. But we keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Hey, can I throw one stat in for you?
Yeah.
Come on, Solomon.
Okay, you guys talked about the guy with the most rushing touchdowns. Raheem
Raheem
Mostert.
Mostert. Yep.
Guess who has the second most rushing touchdowns in the league this year?
Najee Harris.
Josh Allen.
Yes, he does.
That is a drop. You got to drop a fire for that Solomon, man.
What do we give him, man?
But drop the. No, not
Oh.
no. That was a good stat.
Man. I'm trying to get him something, man.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah, you'll find me something. That's fine. Appreciate that. Here, how about this?
What?
We'll do
There
it.
we go.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Working
let's
the
go,
board back there.
Solomon.
Yeah.
That is, and you know what? I can kind of see that. Honestly, I would have thought Hurts would have had it with all the tush pushes, but
Down
that
year.
makes sense.
Down year with the knee. It's just not been the same. His yards per average has been down. We'll talk about that in the next game. But yeah, I mean
That's not surprising because they use him.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised out of all the quarterbacks that like are mobile quarterbacks. You see them kind of get away with Lamar running a lot.
Yeah.
Hurts has even taken a back step.
Swift. They got DeAndre Swift. I knew as soon as they got DeAndre Swift over there like that, that's probably like their best running back, literally, that they've had in probably, I'm going to say, since Brian Westbrook has been there. And I'm talking about way back, like then when they had him, because they haven't had a bell cow back over there in quite some time.
But look at Buffalo though, man. Like the game, who did they play against Miami for the division? He led his team in rushing with 76 yards.
You talking about James Cook?
No, Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, Josh Allen. Yeah,
Josh Allen led
I was gonna
his
say
team.
James Cook.
Yeah, but that's what they don't have. Buffalo doesn't like Josh Allen is their running game, which is not a good sign for
absolutely
with your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I know he's 6'5", like 250, but dude, that wear and tear is gonna hit you hard.
Yeah, and here's what I will say too about Josh Allen. The one thing that he runs well, but I think a lot of times he doesn't even know what the hell he's going to do. Right now, he's got 18 INTs.
Woo.
It's the most in his career.
Most, man.
Right? And it was just one of those things where it was like he threw the ball, and you text me right when he got intercepted, and I was like,
Bruh. 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 Bruh.
It's like, how many interceptions you gonna throw?
Bruh.
I'm like, bro,
Bruh.
come on.
what is this? I was like, what is that?
I'm like, what defense are you looking at? Do you not see the other team jerseys?
They threw it right to him.
He threw it right to him.
I mean, he had to have a Bills jersey on.
Oh.
It wasn't a Dolphins jersey.
Yeah.
It had to be a Bills jersey.
I'm surprised Miami
Man.
didn't. It's like he was giving Miami that game.
He wanted to. Perhaps we should ask him, did you have a side bet?
As a
Was it?
Patriots fan, man,
Man.
I didn't care who won that game, but it was funny to see Josh suffer like that.
Man, it reminds me of this movie back in the day, Damian Wayans. I think it was The Last Boy Scout. And I think it had something to do with,
I didn't see that one.
gambling, man. And I think they were shaving points, right?
Yeah.
And that was the thing, man. I'm not saying shaving points, but man, the
Oh,
way he
now
was
you,
throwing
now you're gonna have
INTs,
your
I'm like,
audience.
man.
Now you're gonna have your audience that's saying the NFL scripted now.
Uh-oh.
You don't open
Hey.
up Pandora's box.
The more controversy, the better.
There you
man.
go, baby.
Make sure you subscribe and check out the channel for more. But what else do we have here? I mean, so with this mess, I mean, the Bills have also given up 24 sacks, which is the fewest in the league, which
Yeah.
is one of the things that I think Pittsburgh does well. So I think they're protected there as far as not giving up things. Stephon Diggs, we're both okay high on him in the sense that he makes plays, but he's their only guy. 107 receptions, 7th in the league, 1,183 yards on 8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pretty good year for him. But what is scary, I've mentioned it before. We were just real talking about it. Gabe Davis, 45 receptions, 747,
You don't,
46, 7 TDs. So it's just like, who is the number 2 guy? Is it
Yeah.
the janitor? Is it the equipment guy?
Man.
Is it Coach McDermott?
I'll tell you what, man. They offered me a vet minimum. I come out there.
Yeah, I mean, I
catch-
think
I
you got
catch
some.
a
I
few.
think you got some routes in you.
I got them hands.
You got some routes in you right now.
I'll be like Jason Witten. I can't run fast, but I'll catch everything.
There you go, man.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I feel like Diggs is an elite wide receiver, but Allen
Sure.
doesn't see him enough.
Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna sound like I'm hating on Josh, but I'm not. But
Sure.
he doesn't go through his progressions good, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Especially somebody that's been in the league. How long he's been in the league now? 5 years? It's pushing 4 or 5 years now.
I think it's maybe 5. We'll have to check the stats on
Yeah.
that, but I think we'll get a stat up just to make sure. But I think probably about 5 years.
That's in his
6 years.
6.
Okay,
Okay.
missed it
That's
by a
even
year.
worse, man. I was trying to be nice. Like, you
Um,
gotta get your number one guy the ball.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, like you read off Diggs stats, and that was with him missing like games like where he wasn't even getting the ball. Like he had like
I don't know how he got to 1,000.
because that's how good he is.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
That's how
did-
good
did
he
they
is.
make
Just
it up?
imagine
Like,
if
how
you
did
give
get
him
to
the
1,000?
ball.
Yeah.
If you make him to implement a focal point of your offense,
Yeah.
you see Josh has games where he's like looking like the best quarterback in the league.
Right.
But he always got this tendency in his back of his head where he's like, I can't find nobody. My first option is gone. Let me just run.
Right.
And so I feel like if the Steelers have a great defense, man. Coach Tomlin, one of my favorite coaches. If I had a coach to play for, he would definitely be like in my top 3.
And, speaking of which, I mean, talking about the defenses here, I mean, let's go with the Bills. 54 sacks, 4th in QB hits. We know what McDermott brings here. You got Ed Oliver for the Bills. He's getting 9.5
I like
sacks
him, man.
here.
He's underrated.
Leonard Floyd coming over from our Rams. He's playing very well. He's got 10.5 sacks, 32 tackles here.
Is my boy still there? Miller?
Von Miller is currently benched, but he is there. But I told you about that controversy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't,
Okay.
I'm not really going to mention that,
Yeah.
but I think that has something to do with why
That's tough.
he's benched. But anyway, the defense has really looked good despite the injuries here. So as we go into, we'll talk briefly here about Pittsburgh's offense, and then we'll move on. What are you thinking here? Because I got Najee Harris coming in with 1,035, 8 tutties. I got Jalen Warren. He's running the football well, 784, 4 TDs. I felt like he was the X factor, 5.3 yards per carry here. And you're looking at a Bills defense here that gives up 4.4 yards a carry, which is tied for 24th in the league. So they can be had on the ground versus the air.
And you've seen it. Like, you've seen it in games, especially against the Dolphins. Achane was cooking them. They have games where it's like, and I love like Buffalo's linebacker. You have Matt Milano. What's his name? I know Terrell.
Milano's injured at this point, but yeah, they do have
Milano's injured?
Yes, he is. He's in a Chubb situation. He's out.
He's like one of those linebackers. I won't put him in the Keekly category, but he's always like every time no matter where the ball is, you see number 58 for the Buffalo, Matt Milano.
Oh, absolutely.
He's always around the ball. He's just a seeker.
Yeah.
You
wonder if he wears their jersey. Like, man, is it a shadow?
I love
Is it a shadow? It's him. He's
just a tangent real quick. I just love watching like my boy Davontae David, man. My boy is 33. Man,
I know we got to talk. We'll talk about
I
them,
just
man.
love
We'll
linebackers that just like that's just always around the ball, man. Like
Yeah.
you don't see those a lot no more. Like the Ray Lewises, the Luke Kuechlys, the Brian Urlacher. So but no, I like Edmonds there. I know his brother is actually playing. Terrell plays safety for the Steelers.
Yeah, and Edmonds is out too with the Achilles, if I'm not mistaken.
For which one?
For the Bills, I think he's still.
They
out.
lost. They got both linebackers out. That's tough.
Yeah, he's been out for a while, but yeah, he's out.
That's tough.
And they still been playing good defense.
That's a testament to the depth they have, the coaching, and the what's the word I'm looking for? The culture that they have there. Same with Mike Tomlin. It's like next man up. Yeah, Watt is gone, but you still got a committee. And we got your boy, man. Talk about your boy still putting it down, Mr. Hayworth.
Yeah.
My boy a legend, man. He's still getting it.
Yeah, Iron Haywood has got to be thinking to himself somewhere.
He's the last player from that regime of the Super Bowl run, right?
Yeah, he's been there for quite some time.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, I watched this.
But I like Highsmith, though.
Back in the day.
I like Highsmith. I think Highsmith's going to lead his team. He's going to be the force to lead them, like the spearhead to lead the sacks.
Yeah.
Or like getting pressures on Allen. The key is not getting sacked. It's for Pittsburgh. The key is to keep Allen in the pocket. Like, can you be contained in your pressure? Where, we've seen so many times, even against like Mahomes, where teams will have him beat, but because they're over pursuing, they leave a gap open. Now he got a 20-yard first down run.
A running lane. Or
you got to be disciplined in your
pursuits.
Yes. So I think Pittsburgh can do that, but the problem is for me with Pittsburgh is Mason Rudolph.
So what's your prediction then? You know, as we got the Thunder here.
With that being said, I got Buffalo winning 24-14.
Okay.
Buffalo 24-14.
I got Buffalo 27-17 in this. I think it's 27-17. I think that Mason Rudolph is going to find a way to get George Pickens the football. I think he's gonna
That's
keep it
my
tight in the first
caveat
half.
though.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. I didn't even mention it earlier, but with
Yeah.
Diggs,
Yeah.
you got this great receiver in Pickens, and you don't even target him.
Look at this. 63 catches, 1,140 yards on 63 catches.
That's amazing.
63 catches. I just told you Diggs had 107 for his 63 catches. That's how talented
Yeah.
Pickens is. And you know, I
The
talked
proof is
about
in the
him all
pudding.
day. Yeah,
Yeah.
63 catches, and he got a G on that. Man,
If Najee Harris can take over, look, this is one of those predictions where I'm going like head over heart. I
yeah,
love Coach Tomlin.
yeah,
I would love to see them play Cleveland
sure,
just as a battle of the division.
sure.
And then the winner plays Baltimore. That would be dope. But I would want the Steelers to win. I'll be happy, but for prediction wise, I'm going with the smart pick in Buffalo.
Yeah, I like Buffalo on this one, man. I think we're on the consensus on that.
Yeah.
So let's get up to the next game here, guys. And so we are rolling right along here. We got so much more content to get through. Who we got? Who's on deck?
Next game, man, we got my hometown, Dallas, against Green Bay, baby.
Oh,
And I'm not a Cowboys fan, so for all you Dallas fans, yes, I'm from Dallas. I'm a Patriots fan. Cry about it. Womp. We need a womp womp. Womp womp. Like, yeah, womp womp. Cry about it. Cry harder.
Let me just say this as I look into camera one. I am a Washington Commanders fan, unfortunately. And that's how I feel right now. But we're going to talk about that. But I just want to tell you this before the segment, so I'm flushing it out.
There you go.
I'm unbiased in this segment.
We gonna see.
All right, let's go.
We gonna see.
So with that being said, I just flushed it all out.
All right.
Let's dig in. So we got the Green Bay Packers. They are visiting Jerry's World.
Ooh.
And the Cowboys are pretty savage in Jerry's World at this point. I believe they are 8-0, if I'm not mistaken.
At home, they're the only
They're pretty-
unbeaten team at home.
It's savage in there. I mean, this is kind of like Lord of the Rings when you go in there with that spider and, like, you know, if you've ever seen
Return
that,
of the King.
Yeah, Return. Like, I don't.
Don't
think they're
have me
coming out of
nerd
that
out.
blur,
This is
man.
we're
Like,
talking
you're not
sports.
coming out of there.
I don't want your fan
Right.
base to understand that I'm a blurred, okay?
Yeah.
Because I will nerd out on you. Don't. Let's talk about football.
That's okay though. We need
Okay.
to because we got.
Solomon, am I right?
You're right.
All right, there we go. So my boy Solomon got me. So
All right, man. Well, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go home and watch Lord of the Rings just for that.
Hey,
The
that's
extended cut, not the
man.
original. Real fans watch the extended one.
Hey, Return of the King. I was getting hyped.
Okay,
Hey, man, I was getting hyped.
we all know
that
Two
was
Towers
fine.
is the best one, but
Yeah,
we
Two Towers.
we,
was
di-
dope.
we digress. We digress.
Hey, man, that's when Gandalf said, "All you got to do is look for me at nighttime." He said, "All you got to look for me," and he came through for him. But they
Came
was
through.
getting slaughtered at the gate. He
He
was
was.
like, "I'm coming."
Yeah,
he was like, "I'm coming for you." White horse and everything.
I feel like that's how Michael Parsons gonna be.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Let's
If
go,
you want to
man.
leave with that? Go ahead.
Dude, man, this is what I'm talking about. You got to have me back on again because I want to just give a full hour rant about Belichick.
Yeah.
How I'm tired of letting these elite, talented players go everywhere but us.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have, Michael Parsons or Matt Judon? That's not even a question. That was hypothetical. I mean,
I'm going.
rhetorical.
Or to be honest with you, I'm going because to me,
Stevie Wonder would go with Michael Parsons.
yeah, and he can see it clearly. And let me tell you something. That boy is like, I would say, the modern day
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Man,
That's not even
oh,
that's not even like
He's-
blasphemous to say. That's how
man.
legit he is. Who would you if you had to pick one? Who would you rather start your franchise with, him or Watt? And
Man,
because they're both young.
Yeah, for sure. I would have to go with Parsons, man. 'Cause I mean,
Yeah.
there was one play last year. He forced the fumble,
Mm-hmm.
picked up the fumble,
Yeah.
and then ran it back.
Yeah.
Okay, and it
He's
was like,
athletic.
yeah, it was like a strip sack.
Mm-hmm.
The ball was ran. He went and picked the ball up and ran it back, and I was just like,
Yeah.
he just did everything.
If he can work on
He
his
just did
coverage a
everything.
little bit more, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little winded out
Yeah.
there at times,
Yeah.
but he does everything though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, he's like what Aaron Donald was a couple seasons ago. Like,
Mhm.
it is just unguardable, man.
Yeah. Man, and this is I know, see, because 'cause I'm from Dallas, so
Sure.
I know Dallas fans every year, "This is our year, this is our year." This might be their year.
You think it's their year?
Man, it's tough because if you looking at the numbers, man, Dak is having his most efficient year.
Career year.
I don't understand how people can talk about Purdy and Jackson as MVPs,
Mhm,
but they not talking about Dak.
mhm.
Shoot, you can throw CeeDee Lamb in there. He almost broke old boy's reception record, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is
He was
having
like
a
15
year.
off,
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is having a year. I mean,
balling out.
he's killing right now.
He's
Um,
tied first with touchdowns with my boy from Tampa, I believe, Mike Evans, with 13, right?
he is tied with Mike Evans at this point. I mean, 135 receptions, 1749 as far as
Oh
yards.
my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, he was just getting chunked.
Who led more, him or Tyreek with yards? Was it Tyreek?
That's one for the stats. I'd have to go look back and see what the
Okay.
show notes were, but I think I got it for you. I just have to
Because
go.
if I didn't even know they was that close. I knew he was like killing the receivers and receptions and touchdowns, but I just thought Hill just had the yards by like a long shot.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, man, like I said, Lamb, he's killing it right now with that. And then another thing that I love about the Cowboys is that they have Cooks over there. They have Brandon Cooks,
That was a good sign though.
eight touchdowns, 54 receptions, 657 yards.
Yeah.
As if that's not enough, you got Jake Ferguson coming in here, 71 receptions,
Underrated tight end.
761 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And on top of that, you have a stingy defense here.
Stingy, bro.
I mean, what is there not to like about this here? I mean, 29.9 first in points per game.
There we go. There go the stats real quick. Yeah, man, he wasn't even that far off from Hill.
50 yards.
50 yard. How is nobody talking about? Because all season
Yeah.
I heard them talking about Hill's gonna break the record.
Mhm.
Can we give some love to our boy Nakua just being in the top 4 as a rookie?
Rookie record. Where he broke a rookie record. He
But
broke the
didn't
rookie record.
didn't
He
the
broke
Packers
rookie record.
receiver break it first and he outbeat him?
Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got it first and then Nakua beat him in the last game. That's
Yeah,
man,
Jaden Reed. Yeah.
we got some talented young players coming up in the league.
Yeah, for sure, man. And Jaden Reed is definitely going to be. I wrote this down. I think he's the second coming of Davontae Adams.
That's
When,
a
I-
big.
when I look at him on tape,
Mm-hmm.
I see that, man. Like,
Okay.
I see that guy that's elite at beating defenses
Yeah.
on the post route. And not only that, his physicality.
Okay.
I love the way he finishes.
I'm gonna have to
runs.
watch him then because I ain't really been paying attention to him
Man,
like that.
as I look at his tape, I think they
Okay.
have a young Davontae Adams. And I think the one thing that I can say about the Cheeseheads or the Packers right now is that they have literally found their quarterback.
Yeah.
They've got it right again. And this is what I wish, being a Washington Commanders fan, why have you not gone out and got a quarterback?
Yeah.
Why is it that a
Come
franchise
on, man.
is able to
Give
get
Howard a
3 franchises?
chance. Give
You
Howard.
got Jordan Love. You got Brett Favre.
Yeah.
You got Aaron
Aaron Rodgers,
Rodgers.
yeah.
What how is it that they are able to do I think that they have some kind of just exclusivity to finding quarterbacks? No, I think that you just don't want to find a quarterback, and we have got to give Green Bay their roses right now because nobody expected Matt LaFleur
Mm-hmm.
to do this. He couldn't do this with Aaron Rodgers last year.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love is a guy that Aaron Rodgers, I think, got pissed about that he got drafted.
Yeah.
But then he
Yeah,
gave him
Rodgers
closure.
have always been adamant about that because he wanted a receiver at that pick, and they was looking for the future. But like you said, you got to give the Packers their flowers because everybody was saying like when he struggled early in the season. See, we told you, Love's not it.
Mhm.
The Packers are currently on a 3-game winning streak.
They are on a 3-game winning streak.
But check this out though.
Yeah.
We just talked about Dak at MVP level with 36 touchdowns. Guess who's second?
Yep. That's what I told you. I told
It's
you.
all
going into
love,
this game,
baby. It's all love.
And the question is, does love prevail in
Mhm.
Dallas? And that's really the theme of the story here, because I think that at the bottom line, this is going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
Like, I think that, honestly speaking, like, people are going to think that this defense is just going to come and, like, lock it up. I think the fact that these young receivers,
Mhm.
right, are so young, they're not even going to realize what environment they're playing in. And I think they're just going to go out
They're
there
gonna be
and
playing
ball.
with house money.
They're
is
going
what
to play
you're
with
saying.
house
I
money.
see what
I
you're saying.
think they're going to come at,
They're
they're going to
gonna
be like,
push it all in the middle of the table and be like, "Look, man,
we know who Stephon Gilmore is,
yeah."
but
He-
what do we know?
yeah.
I mean,
We know
didn't
what he
see-
used to be,
we know
but-
what can he do now?
yeah.
What can he do now?
Is Diggs playing or is he hurt?
Diggs is, I believe he's on the other side. I
Yeah.
think so. But they also have the
Uh,
interception leader right now.
The Bland, what's his name? I want to say Bland.
Yeah, Bland. I want to say I wrote it down as well, but he leads
Yeah.
the league in interceptions.
He's
since he's on the
nice.
side.
He's
So
nice. Dallas got a so here's a stat that I feel like is gonna be a big factor in the game.
yeah,
8-0, Dallas at home,
sure.
Green Bay 4-5 on the road.
4-5. Let me say this. I like that too because I had that one. But here I'm going to give you something. Over the last 3 games,
Mhm.
Aaron Jones 110 yards.
That's gonna be factor.
So you're telling me Jordan Love is lighting you up,
And
and
can
then
run
you
them.
can't stop Aaron Jones?
But
Ooh-wee.
the caveat to that is Aaron Jones is getting the ball in space. Like they're doing quick screen passes to him, getting the ball in his hands, letting him make plays
Mhm.
early and often.
And that's what I
Let
think.
him touch the ball. So now that opens up for your boy Reed and then like Christian Watkins and what's the other Rashad Dobbs
Mhm.
and these pass catchers now.
Mhm.
Is Dylan still there? They don't even use him, I don't think.
I don't. Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
which just sucks because that he was a good back too. I wanted the Patriots to get him. But I feel like with Dallas, and this is my thing with Dallas. Dallas has always had a good team. That they always had a Super Bowl caliber team, but is Dak gonna do what Dak normally does?
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
choke in the most crucial moments when you've been elite all season. And now that I'm making this point, I feel like this is the reason why people haven't talked about him as the MVP because it's like we've seen this before.
Yeah.
So if Dak can play like he's been playing all season, Dallas gonna win this one.
All right, so then let's go to it then, because it seems like we got it pretty much out of here. We'll throw the thunder down. Matt, what are your predictions here for this one?
My dad's not gonna like this because he always wanted me to be a Cowboy fan.
Mm.
But I'm going with the upset, man. I got Green Bay winning this one 34-28.
Are
Green
you
Bay.
looking at my notes? You have to be looking at my notes.
No, you got the same score?
I got the Packers 34-24.
Okay. That's close.
We're within 4 points. I got 34-24.
Yeah. I'm going to give Dallas 28 because I feel like Dallas going to come out hot.
Yeah.
And then Green Bay is going to adjust and then come back. And then Love, if you watch his like games,
Yeah.
he starts off slow.
He does. But he
But
gets high.
yeah,
He
so
gets super high.
so I feel like they're gonna try to run the ball. They're gonna have probably a few 3-and-outs. Dallas is gonna capitalize because they're home.
It's going to look really good.
They're in the dome. Dak can cook in there.
Mhm.
Tony Pollard can keep them guessing with the run. Like they don't use him like they use Zeke. They use him just to keep the defense honest.
Sure.
Because it's really Dak's team now. So,
Yep.
but I feel like Love is he's gonna figure out the chink in that defense. He's like, I got it. Matt LaFleur is gonna say like, all right, is it no huddle? Is it up tempo? What is it? Whatever they find, they're gonna use it, and that's how they're gonna win.
Yeah, I think the power of love is enough. Yeah, I think the power.
Put that
of
on
love
a
is enough.
T-shirt,
I think the
man,
power of love
boy.
is enough. Yeah,
Ooh.
I think the power of love is enough. We're consensus.
Okay,
We
I like
Green Bay
that.
on that. So let's get to our next game. Who do we got? This is
The final game, man, which is gonna be on a Monday, which is cool for me because who likes Mondays? Am I right?
yeah,
Shout out to Garfield.
Monday. Really on that.
Quick segment, man. You got to give Howell a chance, bro. I'm not ready to give up on him yet. My boy was leading the league in passing yards until he got hurt.
Nope.
My boy said, "Get him out of here! Get out of here!" So we got Philly and Tampa Bay, man. So this is the final game of
Yeah.
the wild card weekend. So,
What about the Rams and
yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I'm
we-
sorry.
and Lions?
We got the
I think
Rams
that's
and
the next
Lions.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go. Keep rolling.
Let's go, baby.
Keep
All
it
right, so we
rolling.
got the Rams and the Lions.
Yep.
Stafford versus Golf.
Yeah.
Roles have been reversed.
This is interesting, right?
Mhm.
Because you got the trade, right? And Matt Stafford, he was pretty loyal to
Yeah.
the Detroit Lions. I don't think that the Lions fan base are going to look at Matt Stafford and go, "You left us." I don't think that was the situation. He did all he could do for that franchise. He had Megatron, and
I know that.
they had the tuck game, and I get it, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, he did everything he could. Jared Goff, he did everything he could do for the Rams. He took them to the Super Bowl. He led this elite
Yeah.
offense with Sean
He
McVay,
just ran
and it
into
was pretty.
my team, man. That's all.
And he went and he proved the doubters wrong because they're like, should this guy have been the number one pick and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And there is 28 teams in the league that probably want him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So I love the fact that you have this I'm coming home situation. It definitely has a little bit of this David and Goliath kind of feel to it for sure, right? Because you're looking at the Lions, they haven't been here in 20 years, I think. Is it 20?
Wow.
20 seasons? Yeah, 20 years they haven't been back to this position.
Sheesh.
They're here. And I'm saying, like, this is going to be a great game.
That can't be true. They had to make the playoffs with Stafford at least once.
No. They did.
They
not.
never made the
They did
playoffs?
not. Even with Megatron.
That's tough.
Even with an elite wide receiver,
Yeah,
they couldn't do it. They haven't been there since Barry Sanders in his heyday.
Oh, my goodness.
Since maybe 92. I mean,
That's
like,
inexcusable.
Yeah, like, wait, I'm talking about, like, man,
Jim Caldwell, man, you let the ball drop on that one.
Yeah, Caldwell couldn't get it done.
Yeah,
They
that
fell
was tough.
apart in a couple of those years,
Yeah.
and that was sad. But look, I think that this is going to be an epic football game. I think there's going to be a lot of points put up. I love the fact that you have Dan Campbell here, who has really preached this rebuild.
He's such a player's coach.
He's
in
what
that-
he is? He's Mike Verba. He's
Mike Vrabel? Yep, I was about to say
he
that,
is
yeah.
Mike Verbal in Detroit. And I just like the fact that they're going to blitz. Okay, so they are going to come after Matt Stafford. I just think the real issue for them, to me, is can the Rams run the football?
Okay.
Can they establish
Cam
that?
Akers?
Yeah, or no, they have Kerryon Williams, who led.
Oh, yeah, Kerryon Williams, yeah.
So can they win there? If they can win against that front,
they can control the.
I think they can control the game. And the one thing that I will say is that the Detroit Lions give up splash plays. Going back to that game where they basically, the ref game, is that what you want to call it?
Yeah.
That play to CeeDee Lamb, that was inexcusable.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that has been happening to the Lions. They've been getting killed
That secondary
in cover zeros. Like cover zeros, I'm pretty sure me and you could probably get something in cover zero.
Hey,
if we could just hang
the
in there
money
just
right,
enough,
baby.
we got something in cover zero.
Let's go.
We can get something in cover zero against the Lions.
I
But
like
if they
that.
get home,
Yeah.
that's where you're in trouble.
Yeah, I like that because touching on your point, man, the Rams are coming in they won 7 out of the last 8.
Yeah.
Your boy that you just mentioned, he's averaging 95.3 yards per game, which is first.
Yep.
5 yards a carry and 12 touchdowns.
And you know what I love about the Rams? The Rams basically did it organically. You know, sometimes like you have teams where it's like you get these drafts and they're like, oh, they're still not going to be good. And then they find out it's like, dude, you got some superstars.
Yeah.
You know, think about like what Utah did with basketball when they got Mitchell. When they got
Donovan,
when they got Donovan Mitchell. Nobody knew he was going to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, when you get players like that.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. The Rams got that in a wide receiver. They also got that in their running back as well. And they were able to revamp their offensive line too.
What Sean McVay has done, because everybody was like, man, they had that down year last year, but everybody was hurt.
Sure.
Everybody was hurt.
Yep.
And they was like, oh, well, Donald's older, Stafford's older. Stafford was contemplating retirement. Now they're in the chance to they're coming in as one of the hottest teams in the wild card, you know, looking to take that dub, man. And man, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is a white. I put him in that Hines Ward receiver category. You're not gonna get any diva-ship from him like an Odell Beckham. You're not gonna see him complain if he's not getting the ball. He's a fantastic run blocker for them. For your boy, you told me about Gibbs too at the beginning of the season.
Jamar Gibbs.
You told me to keep an eye out for him. He's a good running back. And then what's my boy Montgomery? They got there right from Chicago.
Montgomery has had a revitalized career. Montgomery's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like Montgomery, like that's everything the Bears wish they would have had. You know, and I just think it was unfortunate. That's why, in my opinion, trading Justin Fields is not the answer.
Yeah.
There, right? Because players are still playing well.
Yeah.
Right? These are the same players that was alongside of him. How is it that the Detroit Lions can make it work in the same division, but the Chicago Bears couldn't make it work? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
We're living in 2024 where I'm about to say the Detroit Lions is a more functional franchise than the Chicago Bears, which is weird.
And it's facts.
Which is weird.
It's weird, and it's facts. It's facts. Like, they have completely rebuilt the culture here, and which is, I think, why we're on the Dan Campbell train here.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's done.
Yeah.
And I love what you mentioned with Montgomery. He's got at least 4.6 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns. Gibbs, 945 yards, 5.2 a carry.
They got a great two-headed attack, man.
St. Brown, 119 reception yards, tied for second, 15-15 on the year, tied for third as far as yards. So as far as going down the field, both teams can get it done.
Yeah.
Donald, you talked about him. He has 8 sacks, but the one thing that they have is they have Brian Young, who's a rookie. He
Okay.
has 8 sacks as well.
Ooh.
They also have Kobe Turner, a rookie nose tackle.
Yeah.
He has 9 sacks.
They're
And-
getting great value out of their young guys early.
Yeah.
That goes what you just said about the Rams building well, like getting it from the draft, building it organically.
Organic. It was organic.
And cheaper too. Now you're not, because they was in cap like purgatory for so long with Stafford when they really went in for that chip with when they won it. They got Stafford there. They bought the defense. They loaded with Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, Ramsey was putting them in cap purgatory.
And that's how you know that you've got a good franchise too,
Mhm.
because they were over the cap. They had that one down year,
Yeah.
just one down year,
Yeah.
right after that Super Bowl year,
Yep.
and then here they are again.
Right.
Why? Because they drafted well and they cut costs. They got rid of
Yeah.
Ramsey. Everybody was thinking, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Right?
They thought they about to like tank.
They're tanking.
Mhm.
They get see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why it's inexcusable with Washington. But we'll talk about that. when we get to that's what I'm talking.
Watch
That's
that. He
what
not
I'm
letting y'all
talking
make
about.
it, man.
That's what I'm talking about right there. See, how is it that
Y'all not
one
even in the
franchise
playoffs
can
and he's
come
still
from?
throwing
They can
shots.
come from the cap.
Yeah.
They could come from being in the cap graveyard
Yeah.
to now they are in the playoffs.
I think too though with the
Like,
Rams,
come on,
though,
man.
it's like most of it was injury
Yeah.
related though, because Cup was out. They didn't even have Nakua, so it's like
Yeah, Cub was out. You
Yeah.
also had Stafford who was hurt, and then they didn't have Nakua.
Yeah.
But DeMarcus Robinson,
yeah.
he's been an undercard.
Yeah.
He basically has been a lot of what they had with Robert Woods, but
Mhm.
more explosive, more younger. And I think that that's been huge for them, DeMarcus Robinson. That's a kid that I'm going to look for on Sunday.
But I feel like the keys to this game for me
Yep.
would be so Aiden Hutchinson is that linchpin.
Sure.
Almost 12 sacks this year.
Yep.
But the Rams only allowed 34 sacks,
Yep.
which is tied for 6.
Yep.
Like you just said, they revamped that offensive line. They're giving Stafford time. Stafford is older. He's not as mobile as he used to be. Sean McVay is going to scheme up probably the best game. I know Ben Johnson is a hot commodity. He's
And Aaron Glenn.
yeah. Adam Schefter is saying like after however far the Lions go, he's going to be like one of the top like touted people to be a new head coach if he decides to take that route. But
Shout out to the Washington Commanders. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's two
Yeah.
hot candidates that I like that are in the running. But go ahead.
that's a good one. But
Yep.
I feel like McVay is gonna just scheme up the best game for Stafford. Just tell him, man, go out there and have fun.
Yep.
Kind of like what you was talking about in the last segment with they're playing with house money. It's
House
like
money, baby.
Stafford's just about to sling it, man. Cup is about to go crazy. Nakua's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Go on, cue it up. I already got my prediction for you.
Let's go.
Let's go. Man, I got the Rams. I got
Pulling
the
off
Rams.
upset. Third seed.
Not just the upset, man. I got them blowing the roofs off. This game. I
Ooh.
got them.
Deep?
I got them winning, man. 40-28.
Wow.
I feel like
Okay. Wow.
with Nakua,
That's
Kupp,
the biggest score of the.
I just feel
of the-
Stafford is coming back home, and
Yeah.
because I don't know if you saw it, we didn't even talk about it, but they're trying to like fans are trying to say like we're banning number 9, we're not going to wear the Stafford jersey. So it's just like I don't know if Stafford's that type of player, but if that's just me, I know it's not like something that fuels me, but that's gonna be something like y'all want to ban my number?
You gonna get hyped.
You about to get a 40 bomb on put on you just for that. I
Hype,
was gonna come
okay.
out the bed dropping 31. I'm gonna do a Jameis Winston. We gonna line up in victory formation.
And get the touchdown too. Okay.
I'm one of
got-
those type of players.
I like the Lions, man, in this one. I'm
That's
still
fair.
going with Dan Campbell. I like him 34-31. I think
That's
this
a
comes
good
down to.
score.
I think it's going to come down to the end. I think that the Lions are going to give up huge plays.
Mhm.
I think it's going to happen.
And that's where I feel like the blowout's gonna come because
yeah,
you got Cup who can run every route tree.
Yeah.
Nakua can be like your security blanket, and then you can hit it with what's his name, DeMarcus Robertson.
yeah. DeMarcus Robinson has been an
You
X
got too many weapons, man. I love like
and the Lions don't have Sam Laporta as well. He's out.
see that I didn't even
Yeah,
bring up
Sam
that point.
Laporta is one of the best tight ends. He's
Yeah.
out due to a leg.
He's literally submitted himself up there with like Kelsey, Mark Andrews, Kittle.
Laporta,
You know what I'm saying? Same with
Solid,
the
solid.
Cowboys, Jake Ferguson. They're putting themselves up there, but
new breed of tight ends.
with your boys with the Lions, man, I liked them coming out of college. Was it Wilson, Jameson, the wide
Which one?
receiver for Detroit? He's always injured. No, John Michie. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Michie. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm Jameson.
Michie is the Titans. Are you talking about Jamison Williams?
Yes,
Yes.
That's
Get
what I'm
out of
talking about.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
but it's just like I feel like if you don't got Amon-Ra or Sam Laporta, well, who's golf gonna go to?
Injuries and the gambling situation got him.
Yeah,
That's why
but I mean, you still got Donald. So yeah, I got the Lions. I mean, the Rams winning at 40-28.
Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. So we're moving to now the last game, right?
Yeah.
Is it,
I was excited
all
for
right,
this
so
one.
you were so excited for this one. So let's
Yeah,
go
man.
with it, man. So
Let's
we
go.
got the chef, Baker
Let 'em
Mayfield,
bake, baby.
at home against the reeling Philadelphia Eagles.
You're
And-
being nice. They're spiraling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Look, go ahead, man.
yeah.
Go ahead and cue it up while I go ahead and find something that's going on with them.
Man, Philly has lost the 5 of the last 6 games.
about you. Do you believe?
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, and they're really coming in banged up. I don't know the injury report for this game.
Yeah.
They haven't released it yet, but Brown got a knee injury.
Mhm.
My boy Devontae Smith got a knee injury. Hurts is lingering injuries. You
Mhm.
know, so it's like this team is coming in at the wrong time. I know every team, playoff football, who isn't banged up.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse.
Yeah.
But when you got 3 of your most key parts
Yeah.
that got you here,
Yeah.
that's a tough hill to climb. My boy Baker was written off, man. I've always been a fan, and I don't.
Come on. I want to. Come
Man.
on. Come on.
I'm
Come on.
gonna have to get. I don't want to go on
Come
a
on.
rant, man. But I'm gonna
Come
go.
on. You got a Bucs jersey under the
Man,
shirt right now.
I
I
need
know
to-
he got a Bucs jersey.
If Baker wins this, I'm gonna have to go on NFL.com and pay that money for that jersey. Bro.
Oh, come on.
But man, Baker has been like, it was like, oh, he's not a good quarterback. He's not this. He's not that. I'm like, what?
on.
My
Come
boy has thrown like less interceptions than Josh Allen,
Career year.
less interceptions than Patrick Mahomes,
Yep.
more touchdowns than Mahomes,
Yep. 94.6 rating, 28 touchdowns.
over 4,000 yards.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Career year. And this is what the people don't understand.
Looking like a number 1 pick.
Looking like a number 1 pick because this is his like 10th. I'm over exaggerating, but this is like his 10th new offense.
Yeah.
He did all this while learning a new system
Yeah.
with a new team.
Yeah.
Josh Allen has had the same system since he's been there.
Yep.
Mahomes, Lamar.
Mhm.
They're not putting up Hurts. They're not putting up these numbers.
And you know what? I think he did something that Brady was not able to do in his last
Mhm.
season, which is get Godwin and Mike Evans over
1,000
1,000
yards. Yep.
Mike Evans 1255. You had Godwin at 1024, and that's
Mhm.
only on 83 receptions here. 2 touchdowns for him, 13 tied for the first in the league with Mike Evans
Yeah.
here.
With
You know,
CD.
the only issue with the Bucs here is yes, Baker's cooking. They're 22nd in passing though at
Yeah.
248.9, which is tied for 20.
Those last 2 games of the season didn't help those numbers.
Man, and so like coming into this one, also too, I will say the Eagles beat the Bucs 25-11.
Yeah.
I believe that was
Week 3.
3.
They were both
Okay,
2-0.
They were both 2-0 going into that one.
And that was the
it
third
fun.
week. This is when the Eagles were healthy.
Yep.
The Bucs were healthy, but they were in this is their third week in a new the whole team. It wasn't just Baker learning a new offense. Their whole scheme changed. So
Yeah.
the whole team had to learn. So it was a lot of identity searching. I do like that they got beat early. Baker has talked about it in the press conference
Yeah.
today that we're 2 totally different teams. So like the footage, we'll look at it, but it's not like that's the same Eagles team we're going to play.
Sure.
So they're aware of it. And then like what I loved about in the locker room, man, against the Panthers after they won, Tristan Wirfs said, man, we hadn't scored in 8 quarters. We
8.
got to do better. And my boy Devin White said, don't worry about it. We got your back. And can we talk about the defensive player of the year
Bruh.
real quick?
Bruh.
Antoine Winfield Jr. That boy's a dog.
Bruh.
That boy's a dog, boy.
Bruh.
I love me some Antoine Winfield Jr. Hey, Belichick, another player you couldn't draft?
And let me throw this out here. He actually, I think, is poised to lead the team in sacks.
Winfield?
I think he's up there for
Yeah,
the
'cause
stats
I think-
leader on the team. I really think I saw a stat. He's up there for the stat
He's-
league.
they-
or the
Bowles
league-
uses
yeah,
him.
the sack league on the team.
So I think
Sack.
Yaya Diaby, who's a rookie,
Yep.
he either has 6.5 sacks this year or 7.
Yep.
Villaveda's been in and out, so he hasn't really he's kind of had a down year.
Yeah. But
Shaq
still a
Barrett,
present, though.
yeah, but it's like it's one of those things where I think I got it right here actually.
You know,
Yeah, they got 48 sacks. They're tied for 7. So it's not like in the past where they had like Shaq Barrett and
Yep.
like Jason Pierre-Paul. This is a sack by committee defense.
Yep.
You still got that. To me, Fred Warner gets a lot of love, but I think, look, if you just watch Davontae David, for him to be at that age doing this for 12 years straight, how fast he runs sideline to sideline, like you think you got you a wide open play, you see number 54 come out of nowhere and just light you up.
And this is what scares me too. I love it.
Love it.
This is what scares me with the Eagles coming into this one.
Okay.
The Bucs have only given up 3.8 yards per carry. Okay. And what do the Eagles like to do? Run the football. Okay. And the Eagles are going to have to lean on running the football. A.J. Brown, if you didn't see it last game, down with a knee injury. Don't know if what his status is.
That's the scary part.
Also, too, Davontae Smith he had to be out because of the ankle injury. That was either the game before where he got rolled up on. He didn't play. So you're telling me now your wide receiver room is injured here.
Quez Watkins probably be like your number one right now.
Jalen Hurts has not been the same.
Yeah.
He has a knee issue, okay? His yards per carry are down.
Of course. Like all of his numbers down. And to back your stat, the Eagles haven't scored over 20 points 3 of the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Over 20.
And Hurts averages right now 3.9 yards per carry, which is his lowest in his career. A
Yeah.
lot of that to the tush push. But the fact of the matter is they're coming in wounded.
Yeah.
They're coming in wounded, and I think that this is a situation where the Bucs are the least wounded team in this.
Baker
And
has
the more put together,
Yeah.
even though they're pretty ugly right now with not scoring a touchdown. So, with that being said, and all that this adds up to, I mean, just with the point, what are you thinking now that we dropped the lightning on this? Where you at with this?
I got Baker and them winning. Baker is coming in.
Sure.
He has a chip on his shoulder. He's seeing Daniel Jones' contract. He's seeing these guys, Geno Smith's contract. I know Baker has matured, and if this was like first rookie year Baker, he would be like, I'm better than those guys.
Yeah.
I remember my boy Baker talking about Daniel Jones. You know.
Yeah.
Remember that press conference when he?
I'm telling you, man.
But people. This is what I'm saying. People are so sensitive. I'm just like, that's what you want in your football player, man.
Sure you do.
Baker is in the wrong era. If he was in the Brett Favre era, Baker would be loved by every sports fan.
You know what he is, and people get upset about him. He's basically Jay Cutler.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a. I mean, he's a.
He's
gunslinger.
more efficient.
Yeah, he's more efficient. He's a gunslinger, and he has confidence.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
but
he's literally like a Jay.
This
Cutler.
season alone, I don't know his career, but this season alone with the Bucs, he has 10 game-winning drives.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
You know, and he had. I'm sorry, that's like his career coming into the season.
Yeah.
So, but with the Bucs, he's had at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
He came back against the what's the team? The Falcons.
Yeah.
Right? Then he came back against Houston. His defense let him down.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe because Philly's defense, they allowed 101.4 yards to receivers. That's 29th.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me Evans and Godwin can't cook them?
Mm-hmm.
You tell me Cade Otton can't get open? You tell me Rashad White can't get open in the screen? Trey Palmer, the rookie. I got the Bucs at home, winning this game, getting the redemption.
Yeah.
28-21.
Oh, God, this is so hard, man. Because I picked the Eagles against Seattle. They lost. I picked the Eagles against Dallas. They lost.
So pick them so that my Bucs can win.
I cannot believe I'm doing it. And it's mainly because I know Jalen Hurts, speed coach too, and I like.
Okay, I love Hurts, man.
Okay, but
I love him, but
they
had their chance last year. Give my boy Baker a chance.
I just think the championship experience. Like I think that the Eagles get a late field goal in this one.
Okay.
I think they get a 24-21 squeaker.
Okay.
I just.
So let me ask you this.
I'm going to go with the Eagles 24-20.
Let me see if I can convince you real quick on this last point.
Okay.
James Bradbury has been having a bad year. You telling me Evans?
Oh, let me say. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles secondary. They actually cover blades of grass, not actual wide receivers. Okay, let me just say that.
Okay.
They cover blades of grass, not receivers. So that means that they cover no one.
Yeah.
Okay, no one. No one. You, Solomon, we can get some balls thrown to us, and we would get some receptions out there.
Let me buy my ticket to Tampa real quick.
Zero coverage. Don't get me started on Matt Patricia.
Here's my caveat, though. Don't get me started on Patricia, man. I don't want any. I'm tired of seeing these coaches. I'm going to go on a rant. I'm tired of seeing these coaches. They talking about Josh McDaniels might come back to New England. No.
Stop.
Bill O'Brien's there. Get him out of there.
What kind of shit is...
Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Belichick, ride off into the sunset like Clint Eastwood or somebody in one of his Westerns.
Get him out of here.
I want just clean house. Get everybody out of there.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia is the worst coach I've ever seen.
The worst?
The worst.
Can I
And you
get dude, I wish I had the Charles Barkley. Terrible.
terrible, but it's terrible,
Terrible.
terrible, man.
Terrible.
How do you
We'll add it next time.
Dude, terrible.
how do you
Get
have
that clip for you.
this dude was a defensive coordinator his whole career, and then now in New England, you make him an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
What kind of I can't make this up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes into the recycled coaches. Like,
That just pissed me off.
yeah, I mean,
But anyway, like I was saying, with Dave Canales, you didn't let me. I don't want to go down that dark hole.
yeah.
Because we as the Patriots, we have the 3rd overall pick. I don't know how, but the Lord is my witness. I know we're gonna fumble this. I know we're gonna screw this up somehow. I don't know how. I can't see to the future. I just know we're gonna trade down and we're gonna take a quarterback we never heard of. That's like projected 4th or 5th round. We take him in the 2nd.
Life's not fair.
It's
is
not,
it?
man, as a Patriots fan. I know everybody like, oh, boo-hoo, you got 6 rings. Brady got those 6 rings.
Mm,
We ain't seen the playoffs since. Well, we saw the playoffs. We got dominated.
mm, mm. Going into the last segment here, man, it's been crazy. We've run over, but who cares? But we're here. Keep it rolling. Pay
Keep
the
it
bills.
rolling.
We'll keep it rolling.
Let's go, baby. Gotta keep the lights on.
Keep the lights on. Let's keep
Let's
it
go.
going. But let's go, man. So going into it, man, we wanted to talk a little bit here about what we call, is it Black Monday? Where
Yeah.
essentially you get the coaches that get fired after the season is over. And this is kind of going to be a loose segment.
Mhm.
We don't really have graphics for you.
Do you think they
We
call
got a
it
lot of
Black
jokes for
Monday because they've always fired black coaches early? They don't give them a chance.
Man, golly. I mean,
Hot take.
it could be a hot. I mean, I don't have a button for that one,
Hey, y'all know.
Bruh.
but I'll give you that one. Yeah.
I'm
There you
honestly
go.
surprised.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, D'Amico Ryans didn't make the playoffs. He would have been gone.
There's a speculation.
Mike Tomlin probably got fired.
Well, he probably got fired 4 games ago, but now he's
Mhm.
the savior. And it's like, dude, you
Well,
really-
I blame that on Kenny Pickett though.
but of course. But here's the thing about that. Pittsburgh has only had 3 coaches that I know of.
Yeah,
They've had him. They've had
Cowherd.
They've had my man who's on the CBS right now.
Yeah, Bill
Bill
Cowherd.
Cowher, right? And then you had Chuck Noll back in the day. No other, I mean, franchise, that's unheard of.
But that's
You just
good
have 3
ownership though. You
Yeah.
let your coaches like.
So why could you? I couldn't even fire.
Yeah.
I could not even fire him.
Yeah.
I could not even fire.
Well,
him.
let's get into yo because you've been throwing slugs at them all segment. So let's go. And
Oh,
get,
you want me to get there?
let's go
You
there.
want me to
I
get
want
there?
to sit back and listen to you just rant about.
All right. So here we go. I'm looking in camera 1 right now. So Washington.
Mhm.
First off, as a fan, as a franchise, this is what it has been. Let's start that off with that. But
Ah,
I will give you this though. You are starting to redeem yourself, and I will give management really some credit where credit is due here. So let's first start off with the fact that the Commanders have actually went out and hired Bob Myers, who was actually the architect
Mhm.
of the Golden State Warriors. Okay, he knows winners.
okay.
He knows how to go out and get them. Now, here's the one thing that I love about this. They're looking at Adam Peters, who is the GM for San Francisco.
Mm.
Him and Adam Peters actually went to high school together
Okay, because they both in
at Monte
the
Vista,
Bay. Okay.
but they also went to college together in UCLA. That sounds like we got an early jump on a good GM. Okay, if he is the architect here and he is the guy that has helped
Mhm.
bring the groceries to San Francisco, last time I checked, they're a pretty good football team.
Yep.
And we'll be talking about them next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I love that. I love the fact that he has actually gone out with a game plan and said, you know what? As an owner, Dan Snyder wanted to go out there and dictate who
Mhm.
Washington got and all this. He's saying, I'm
Like
going to
Jerry
get out of
Jones.
the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to get guys who are proven. They know how to find winners and
Mhm.
traits. Let's go out there and get them. So I love that. I'm going to give him the start there.
Okay.
Next thing I love about this, one of the coaches that they're looking at is Anthony Weaver, who is assistant head coach and defensive line coach with the Ravens, played a combined 7 seasons with the Texans and Ravens, excuse me.
Uh huh.
Then another name, I absolutely love him, Raheem Morris. He is on the sidelines right now for the Rams. He was our cornerback coach in
Right.
2012 when they had RG3. He was
Mhm.
very
Yes,
successful
as a
with
coordinator.
he was very successful with the Bucs too. I want
As
to
a
just say that.
coordinator.
I just want hey, he was in the head coaching job for a
Yeah.
little bit with the
They
Bucs, and he
his
got it done.
Bucs record as a head coach was not good.
They compete. I liked it.
Okay,
I
fair
think
enough.
it was a small sample size. He's
Mhm.
one of those guys you've got to give him a
Yeah.
chance.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's the one thing that I will say about that as well. They are also looking at Aaron Glenn, who is a talented defensive coordinator
Yeah.
for the Detroit Lions. I love that about
Mhm.
Washington. They have
You want
come
a
out
defensive minded?
aggressive. This is two minorities that they're looking at as well. I love it. I love Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I love what I think it's Joe Harris. I love what they're looking at right now. So I
Okay.
will say that I will give them.
So you like where the direction is?
I like, man, I love it. And the last thing I will mention is he said Eric Bieniemy is not out of the hunt. He is certainly a guy.
That's what I
that
was
we're
waiting
thinking
on. I
about.
was like, that should be.
When he's mentioned that, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I might have to write you off. But he said,
Mhm.
I like him and I want to give him an endorsement, even though Ron Rivera did not. Okay.
Oh,
And
see,
with
yeah.
Ron Rivera, I will say this. We led into it a little bit in the green room talk.
Mhm.
I will give him credit where credit is due. You do have to be a manager there. You know, I've talked to you a little bit about
Yeah.
this. I know somebody that worked in the PR department there.
Mhm.
It is a lot worser than what they report on
Yeah,
television.
it's-
So
yeah.
it is tough out there. So the fact that he was an actual manager of those
And
situations,
you didn't really hear nothing come out. That's
exactly.
a testament to how good of a coach he is.
character.
Yeah.
Like I believe for sure he's certainly a
Ron is a
of-
good
of
coach. I feel
prince,
like
for sure.
if he doesn't get another shot, it'll
Yeah.
be shocking because he's definitely a coach when he was with Carolina.
He's gonna get another shot.
He-
He's television for a year, but he could get somebody.
Yeah, because I don't see him not being a coach again.
Yeah.
Whether it's like defense but he's too good of a coach not to have a job. But
Yeah.
if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm like, y'all can take Belichick. Trade. A matter of fact, hot take. Let's New England breaking news. Adam Schefter in report. The Patriots trading Bill Belichick in a 5th round pick for Eric Bieniemy. I'll take that right now.
Mm.
Get on the phone. Give me the number. I'll call him for you.
Eric Bieniemy is a dead.
Eric
dynamic
Bieniemy,
mind.
and then we take Michael Penix Jr. with the 3rd overall pick. Matter of fact, he might be falling in the draft. We take Marvin Harrison with the 3rd overall pick, and then we draft him later.
I got a place where Mike Penix goes. But go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll go to our next coach.
Man, let's talk about. So I'm glad we got your boy. So to finish it, who do you think? Like, who would you want to see there?
Ooh, right now, I mean, who I would like to see, honestly, is Bieniemy. That's who I would want to see.
Agreed.
I think Bieniemy's got a lot of interviews before these guys.
Mhm.
Okay, and I think that it's not fair that we're basically saying, okay, you're a year removed from being one of the hottest coaches pursued. Now you're not a good coaching candidate.
That's so weird to me,
ridiculous.
man. Like
that is just complete ridiculousness. Like he has a resume. Let's give him a shot.
That's so real. Hey guys, after you watch this, make sure you go check out Rico's reel. He has a reel on there that's doing bangbuster numbers about Patrick Mahomes talking about, is this your MVP? And he shows the real MVP, which is Eric Bieniemy. You can't tell me this
Yeah,
dude
sure,
isn't a
sure.
head coach. All of a sudden, you have the same pieces there. There's only one key piece missing, and now Mahomes is having his worst year. It's not circumstance.
Yeah.
So for that to happen, and the proof is in the pudding, you can't tell me that Bieniemy shouldn't be a head coach. If you're looking at Ben Johnson for the Lions, where's Eric Bieniemy's love?
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, man. I think it has to be enemy first. So that's just my opinion. Hopefully,
Yeah.
maybe we put that up at the end of the show.
Yeah.
That's short.
I like
or,
that.
Yeah.
Where do you think Brandon Staley gonna go, man? Do you think he's gonna get another job, or he doesn't deserve one?
I think he's going to be at Chick-fil-A. Okay? Because honestly speaking, with the job that he
That lemonade be
pulled
fire,
there,
though.
like, man, he just basically the lemonade.
The
is
lemonade
off
fire,
off
man.
chain,
The
man.
Lord make that himself.
And man, and those breaded nuggets, extra basketball tomorrow. But anyhow, okay. So going to it, I don't think that Brandon Staley's going to get another opportunity. I think
That's
that
fair though.
the way that the Chargers ended last year or this year
Mhm.
was just
Yeah, because he got fired mid-season, right?
it was so bad. I
Yeah.
mean, you let 63 points. I mean, I don't know if any high school teams gave up 63.
That team is too talented, man. And then you go get
63?
Khalil Mack to pair with Joey Bosa. You still got one of the best safeties in the league in Derwin James.
Bruh.
Justin Herbert. Can we talk about
Bruh.
my two favorite players? The Ball brothers, Keenan Allen,
Bruh.
Austin Eckler,
Bruh.
Justin Herbert.
bruh,
We should get a what? Justin Herbert, what? The Austin 316.
What?
Yeah. But you had too much talent, man. You got Mike Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're free agents too. And I want to say like Keenan Allen's a free agent going into next season.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack's getting older.
But your
This
defense,
is-
I mean, not defense, sorry. Your team was built there, so there was no excuse besides to say like the coach doesn't know how to get this team to play.
And you got a bad contract too. You got a bad contract with Justin Herbert. Austin Eckler's getting older.
Yeah.
Like it's just Quentin Johnson, the young
Oh,
man
yeah,
that they
from
got out of
TCU.
TCU
Yeah.
did not pan out. Like
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna have like a Mike Williams
He
impact.
can. He just needs
And-
to. I feel like Brandon Staley doesn't. Again, this goes back with Justin Fields and coaching. It's like,
Can he play or because it looked like he was on a milk carton.
yeah.
Where is he?
I
Have you
think-
seen him
I think
lately?
it was
Like,
a-
that's where I was at. Like
Some
have you seen
some
him?
players just develop. I say give him another year or two with a good coach. Like
Yeah.
let's say Bieniemy goes there,
Yeah.
and if Bieniemy can't get nothing out of him, then maybe something is the question. But
I like that because he's been in that division. Okay, he's in that division.
Mhm.
They're a pass first offensive team,
Yeah.
even though they do have a run.
you got a franchise quarterback there already in Herbert.
What scares me is I think that they really have to address the depth
Mhm.
under Austin Eckler. Like
That's
you
fair.
really need to go get that, and you're gonna have to get younger at the wide receiver position.
Mhm.
Other than Palmer out there, who
Yeah.
he's done well and
Yeah.
serviceable every time he's had to step up. But when Josh Palmer went down,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they were throwing to the guys that sell popcorn. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't have that. Okay, as a franchise, so they have got to draft better here, and then also to quarterback wise, if Justin Herbert goes down,
Yeah.
I mean, who was that? Like, was
Yeah.
it who was the quarterback? Who was
What's his
Stick?
name?
Like, who is
Yes.
that guy?
Yeah, I was
Who
gonna
is
say Stick.
it was like a created player in Madden that
Mhm.
didn't go well.
57
That's what it
overall
was. Like he had to have 57, maybe 47. It was
Dang,
terrible.
That's tough.
Terrible.
So who would you? So if you were the Chargers, who would you want? Would you want a Ben Johnson? Would you want an offensive minded coach to come in and coach Herbert, or would you want a Aaron Glenn or a Steve Spagnuolo or like Raheem Morris, a defensive minded guy?
I think you need to go offensive.
I agree.
But no matter what you do, I would say the Chargers fans, you need discipline. How many times did they lose games at the end of the day?
That's
Like
fair.
it was like, look, it was atrocious what
Mhm.
happened with Staley last year. They were literally wanting to run the ball out, and he wanted to get cute.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
and
Where,
they
what
cost you the
lineage is
playoff.
he from?
I
I want to say he comes from not Hackett. What's his boy from Green Bay? I want to say he comes from like LaFleur, Sean McVay lineage.
dude, it was the worst fall I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Man. Like he went from getting destroyed by the Jacksonville Jaguars after
Mhm.
being up 30-7 or something ridiculous like that. And then, yeah, you got to go.
But
You got to go.
But look at
Yep.
that's a testament to what you're saying because Josh McDaniels, Raiders looked like a dumpster fire. You fire him, bring in a disciplined guy, Antonio Pierce.
Culture.
Look at how they almost made the playoffs.
Culture, man.
If you would have made that move like 2 or 3 games earlier, you might have made the playoffs.
That's why energy is real.
Mhm.
And I think that at the end of the day, people look at money, you look at players, and you
Mhm.
look like this. Dude, if you don't like the players that you're playing with
Yeah.
and you don't believe in one another,
Mhm.
I don't care who it is. We could take the worst guys in the gym and you
Mhm.
can win basketball
yeah.
games with it. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
you believe in it. And that's what I'm talking about. They need somebody out there that has that instilled belief culture. And I just don't think the Chargers have really found that. They found it for a little bit with Staley.
Right.
And then I think
It was like
all-
a
Man.
hot new. Like when you drive a car off the lot and then the depreciation hits. And
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is a nice toy.
Yeah, and that's what they did when go ahead with the coaching tree, bringing up the stat here.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he was in the same tree with John Fox, who
Mhm.
got fired
Yeah,
terribly with the
Big Ben,
Bears.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy, who got fired with the Bears.
Yeah, so Sean McVay's from there too. I knew he was with McVay.
Man, like that is just that's a tough.
Yeah.
Man, Sean McVay is the only one that's had like the actual
That's still there. That's still coaching.
golly. Okay, that's tough.
Man.
Yeah, so I mean that's even tougher. Like you're coming over from the Rams, and that's an
Mhm.
established offensive franchise.
But the difference between
you know,
McVay and Staley, like you just said, Staley wants to be cute.
yeah,
McVay is like, all right, we're not. They got our number in the passing game. We're gonna run down your throat 35 times.
and it was like it was one of those things where it's like he was going for it on 4th down,
Mhm.
and he would be sure of it. And I swear, man, it almost looked like the paper would slide out of his hand because he was so nervous. I'm like, what? You called the time? Why are you so nervous now? Go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he come out and they run some mess, and you just
Mhm.
be like, that was terrible. I know you didn't call a timeout for that.
That's tough, man. So I would like to see if Bieniemy doesn't go with your team.
Yeah,
I would like to see him go back to that division.
makes sense.
That would be the good division.
Makes sense.
I would like that.
Makes sense.
All right, let's talk about who you think the Falcons gonna get, man. They let Arthur Smith go. Arthur Smith had a 21-30 record, man. He didn't do good. He didn't do good there.
Okay, so here's the one thing that I love about the Falcons situation. Great contracts. Bijan Robinson still in
Rookie.
his rookie contract.
Pitts.
Pitt's still in his rookie
London.
contract. London still in his rookie contract. Okay. Desmond Ritter still in his rookie contract. You didn't pay a whole bunch of money for Desmond
You
Ritter,
didn't.
so you can go like this
Fine.
with Desmond. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Now, here's the one thing that I will say about that. He's coming from Verba's coaching tree.
Mike
which
Vrabel?
was a run first kind of offense.
Who, Smith?
Well, that's when you're
Right.
Titans. That's what they were looking for.
Right.
I think that's what he was trying to.
But I'm
build.
saying Arthur Smith is from that lineage.
Yeah, he's from that.
It doesn't make sense though. You're not using your running backs then.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't use him enough.
Mhm.
Okay, and I get what he's trying to do, and I think, and I told you this with Bijan Robinson. I think he's the next Marshall Faulk.
That's
100%.
He's so dynamic, bro.
Yeah, he's the next Marshall Faulk.
Why are you not using him?
So here's the deal. What I would say about that. You have Arthur Blank.
Mhm.
Let me throw this out there.
Okay.
What quarterback did Arthur Blank had that turned the league on fire when he got him?
Vic.
What quarterback is coming out that is a left-hander that looks like
Penix.
he's turning? I think that this is a perfect scenario.
Oh my goodness.
I think this is a perfect scenario.
That's
This is why this could be a great job.
Mhm.
And I don't think Arthur Blank is going to pass on Penix. I think
you-
he's seen this before.
Yeah.
This is the revamped
This is a
version,
good-
and this could be what
Ooh.
he could actually get what he was
Right.
looking for with
And
Michael
Ritter.
Vick before
Mhm.
he went away with the whole situation.
Man.
He had to do some tough stuff.
If
like
that
but I think,
happens, y'all heard it here first from my boy Rico at Real Talk Sports with Rico. That is
I think
dude. If that happens,
And-
ESPN need to hire you as their insider.
look, and
Like
it's a running game, right? What did he have? What did he have?
Algier, yeah.
What did he have in Washington?
my boy Turner, and before that, what was that tight end he had? I like the big guy.
Gonzalez.
No,
Well, he played there towards the end, but
the fat guy. He was nice. Crumpler.
Algie Crumpler.
Yeah, Crumpler.
Algie
Yeah. So it's like, my only thing is, where do the Falcons pick? We're gonna do a draft segment when it gets closer to that.
Sure.
And then like because Penix didn't have a great championship, unfortunately. So that's probably gonna knock him down a little bit.
Exactly.
Which may work because Lamar went to the perfect situation with Baltimore.
And they're already talking about him being injured, which he's really not that injured.
Yeah.
There's going to be that stigma. Oh, he hurt his back.
Mhm.
He's injured.
Yeah.
Goods and all this stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, he has small hands. Like, you know how all this stuff comes up in the draft. He didn't test well.
Yeah.
He didn't run well.
Yeah.
He didn't throw well. He's throwing against air.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 7-on-7 in air in Indianapolis, and
Yeah.
you're putting all this stake on
Mhm.
the whole.
Yeah, but that's what we talked about this like in the green room too before, like with Tomlin was saying like a lot of these coaches don't want to coach anymore.
Yeah.
They want all these young players to be, and we was even talking with this about Solomon. It's like nobody wants to develop anymore. They want everybody to be ready, like to come in, and of course you as a team you want to like when you draft them you expect them to an extent to do that,
Mhm.
but you also got to give them a grace period of saying like, all right, this is a rookie. So and it's like different positions. A linebacker, you can come in and make a more impact than you could as a quarterback.
You know who would be perfect in this situation? Just to answer your question, I know I kind of went around the
Mhm.
loop. Just got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll.
For Atlanta's head coach.
Pete Carroll, who did he won with Russell Wilson?
Yep.
Russell Wilson was an unproven.
Mm-hmm. They took
draft
him in the
pick.
third round, right?
Absolutely. I watched a lot of his games at NC State.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
In
those
Wisconsin.
games when he was there. I saw him when he was in Wisconsin.
That's when I found him was in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I
was
watched
like-
his games when he was at NC State.
Yeah, I didn't even know
and
about him.
and he was a winner then.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't anything that he did was sexy about him.
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect mind for a rookie.
Not
coach.
going to turn the ball over. is gonna-
Perfect.
yeah. Play
and,
right.
and he wants to run the ball. It's already built to run the football.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Pete Carroll.
I think that's why Purdy's so good though. It's like he's not trying to be a Mahomes. He's just on like I know where our strengths are.
Yeah.
Let me not. It's not the Brock Purdy show. It's the 49ers show.
Yep.
And I think Kyle Shanahan and like coaches like that, that's what they want.
Yeah.
They don't care about you trying to throw 500 yards a game and try to look sexy and like I mean like in it, Mahomes. I'm kind of glad that they're getting a little humbled with this because I feel like they're gonna need it to grow. but he got like that big old like $500 million, and it's like when you watch him play quarterback, if you're a coach, you're not teaching your quarterbacks in high school to play like that
Yeah.
because he's doing things that's like unscripted, which
Mhm.
is cool and flashy, like a Steph Curry. But give me the Kawhi Leonards, give me the Kobe Bryants,
Yeah.
the person that's fundamentally sound, that's gonna hit that mid range on you every time, like 98%.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want the guys that's gonna like a Brady, that's gonna 1, 2, 3, Manning, 1, 2, 3. And so I like man, Pete Carroll. That's a good
I like P, man.
whoever. I don't know whoever they get.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel. I think Vrabel should go there.
He would be perfect for that. I think Pete Carroll would be perfect for that because both want to run the football,
Mm.
and I think both could probably unlock Kyle Pitts. That was the
Oh,
big thing with Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts, he was an elite tight end, and I know he had the knee and
Mhm.
hip injury.
they haven't
But
used him right.
yeah, let's
since-
let's be serious.
Let's be
Like,
honest.
yeah, let's be serious, man. He didn't get used correctly, and he was a monster in his first year.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, it was like
It's
he
just
wasn't
like-
even on the team anymore.
Bro, there's
Like,
no-
what happened.
I like Drake London, but
Yeah.
there's no way when you have a guy like Kyle Pitts. That's like saying like,
It's like
my boy Zay Flowers.
yeah,
I know Andrews is injured, but you telling me who?
Isaiah Likely, like that whole situation.
Yeah.
They had like basically an Isaiah Likely here
Right.
in this situation with Kyle Pitts, but they're not
Using
utilizing
him.
him. And so you just need somebody to utilize the weapons here. So what we're saying is with the Atlanta job,
Mhm.
there's plenty of groceries
Yeah.
in the kitchen. Okay, we just need somebody that is going to cook the meal.
That know how to
correctly.
season it.
Yeah,
man.
that's all we need. It's a
Look,
seasoning.
you in
and it's there
Atlanta,
for you.
man. How you don't know how to season
Man.
your groceries?
Tell them about it. You talk about Lowry's all the time on Tuesday.
You gotta throw that Lowry's
Thursday,
in there, man. That Lowry's, man.
Come on, Lowry's.
But I feel like whoever coach gets there,
yeah.
they're gonna want to get rid of Ritter and get their own guy.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's,
so,
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just basically the poor man.
I don't know if he's gonna be like the-
Marcus Mariota.
Mariota. I was just about to say that.
Marcus
Mariota, yeah.
I'm sorry.
But
Mariota.
yeah. All right, so we did that one. So we kind of touched on it, but let's actually give it more time because this was the most shocking firing. And Coach Vrabel,
Yeah.
he's as a Patriots fan, he was one of the linebackers on there. I remember when he scored that touchdown in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
As the head coach for Tennessee, he was 56-48.
Yep.
One, I want to know,
Winning head coach. Sure.
a fantastic head coach. He changed that culture in Tennessee, 100%.
Since Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, like Jeff Fisher came in, you saw him lose in the locker room, and then the players didn't like him, and then
Yeah.
Vrabel comes in and he changes the atmosphere. Where do you want to see him go, and where do you see the best fit for him? Because I feel like if he wanted to, he would be hired right now.
Well, okay, let's talk about it. I agree with you with the Atlanta situation. I think he also fits in Seattle as well, right? He's a run
Plug and
first
play,
coach,
yeah.
right? He wants to run it first.
Defense.
Both of those teams are ready to go with the run situation. I think that because he's there, he will attract key free agents because of the defensive scheme that he likes to
Yeah.
play. Obviously, you had Bud Dupree that came over from Pittsburgh. We talked about that. So it is going to be elite linebackers that will want to play for
Yeah.
him. And also, too, I think that for the most part, he has done a great job drafting. Now, I will say this. They did drop the ball a little bit when they let A.J. Brown go. Okay, that did not work out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of the wide receiver that they got, but he just
Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks has been disastrous. Thank you for that, because Traylon Burks, he was supposed to be the ultimate replacer there. And I think to Burbal's credit, and I keep saying his name wrong, but
Yeah.
I think that indicated that this has to end. Because when you just trade a guy like A.J. Brown for a bag of chips like that,
So
like
do
to a
you think it
contender,
was
like, you can
Vrabel's choice, or
I don't
was it
know,
the
absolutely
GM?
not. No, it was money. That was money. That's where it is basically you're going to play the way that we want you to play. And I think that that's the coming to it because they didn't even give Derrick Henry his roses. I think he should have had the ball far more times here. I will give Coach Verba the credit because he did coach up Will Levis. I think that they did get that right.
Okay.
I think you're going to find that out next season. Going to be more of him and DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know how much more he has left in the tank at this point. But he looked good.
Okay.
And so I think Will Levis was the right pick here in selection. And I think that that's why, and we'll talk about it with Carolina, why, their GM is probably going Yahtzees because he could have had Will Levis. You could have had Stroud.
Yeah.
Even my man over in the Raiders, he even had a better
Aiden
season.
O'Connell?
Yeah, he had a better season than
Dang.
Bryce Young. I mean, theoretically,
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many things that are there. So I think that you verbal would fit there.
Well, there's rumors he may come back to us, and I'm like, I'm all for that.
That's a great fit. I mean,
But
if he wants to do that.
but I don't want him to be like an assistant. I feel like because it's talks that Belichick is willing to step down as a GM to stay as a coach, and I'm like, Kraft, don't fold. Like,
Which
get him out of there.
which leads us into that. Let's go with that.
Okay.
What do you think? So l- just leapfrogging into that, what do
Yeah.
you want to do with him? So it looks like clearly you want to
Clean house.
You want to clean house.
When you draft a quarterback
Yeah.
and you literally destroyed him within, it wasn't a Sam Darnold thing where another team defense made him see ghosts. You literally destroyed Mac Jones's like confidence
Mhm.
with your terrible coaching hires with like Bill O'Brien and Matt Patricia and
Sure.
this dude is like I want him to succeed. Just I feel like he has to get out of there. He has to do like a Jared Goff and go to a new team that actually believes in like a Baker Mayfield. When your team gives up on you, man, like you don't, that's like your job saying like, oh man, I don't really like you, but you can still work here. I don't want to work here.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It really sucks.
It
And
sucks.
I mean, I was just thinking about a situation like that. It
Yeah.
sucks.
It's tough,
it
man.
sucks, man. It
But
sucks.
like he lost his job to Blake freaking Zappi. What?
Yeah. Didn't even want to give Malik Cunningham a chance.
Oh, don't get me started on that, man. That's a whole nother rant.
And admittedly said that he basically fits like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he compared him to a Lamar Jackson prototype.
So a dynamic quarterback,
And
which you need in the league now, probably,
Yeah.
and you didn't even want
You
to
trade
dress
him. You trade him.
And he looked good in the preseason. I want to
I
say
was
that
just
because
gonna
I
say,
said it. He looked good in the preseason.
He was fantastic in the preseason. And then you trade him to a team that has Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be third on the depth chart. So what you trade him for? Just to trade him? And this is what I'm talking about with Patriots fans. It's like y'all like Belichick.
What?
Exactly. Y'all love Belichick. And I'm an objective Patriots fan.
Sure.
If you look at the draft, we're going to have to do this. We're going to literally have an hour segment because I'm going to get all the drafts he's fumbled offensively. He's hit on a few good defensive players because the one player he took Duggar. I didn't want Duggar at that because Duggar was projected. He came from a Division II school.
He loves to draft from there, though.
Yeah, but you took him in the second round.
He loves to draft. He loves to draft from like D3s and.
You could do that enough.
You
so
can do that in the 6th round. I know.
You trade
or
down.
You can get a free agent like that.
Yeah, he wasn't even projected. He was projected late. I mean, he's a good safety, but he's not an Antoine Whitfield Jr.
You can't.
I swear, man. I was like,
that's the Kyle West.
yeah, you can't tell me nothing, baby. Graduation.
Done.
No, man, but it's just like this dude doesn't like get it, and he's so stuck in his ways. Him and Saban are alike. They come from the same like cloth of like it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
That doesn't work no more. You don't have a 6-time Super Bowl winning quarterback to keep everybody. So how it was even Danny Amendola came out and said, "We work for Belichick, we play for Tom." Did you see that? He quoted that.
And what I do.
You can't make this up. Gronkowski retired early because he didn't want to play with Belichick no more. You saw him come out when Brady went to Tampa. Gronk was like, "Oh, you going to Tampa? I'm going to Tampa." He made them trade him to Tampa because nobody wants to play for Belichick. They were like, "Bro, you don't got those 6 rings. If you had 3 rings before Brady got there, that's a different story." That's a different story. And it's just like, dude, we're in a new era now. Quarterbacks are mobile.
Yep.
And the only reason he took Mac Jones, we had the 15 overall pick that year. The only reason he took Mac Jones, we could have took Trey Lance.
So then let me ask you this. I mean, because it looks like we got a whole bunch of theories there. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a whole nother show. We probably
Oh,
could
yeah.
have-
No, that whole show's going
We
to
could have
happen.
like the Netflix thing that comes
Oh.
up, the
Oh,
little
yeah.
dots and then ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
What could New England have had?
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Who is going to be who's the coach? Do you have a coach? Do you have somebody in the search?
Well,
who would you like to see?
what I think is going to happen or what I want to happen?
What do you want to have?
What I want to happen is they should have been out like 3 weeks ago.
So they fire Belichick, and then who do they get?
Not just Belichick, his son, Bryant, everybody.
So
Get rid of everybody.
So who's the head guy?
If I had my choice, it would be either Brian Flores,
Okay,
Eric Bieniemy,
sure.
or Mike Vrabel.
Okay,
And if
Sure.
if I had the perfect scenario, I'll bring in Flores as my head coach / defense coordinator, and I'll bring in Bieniemy as my OC,
okay.
and let him. I don't even know if I want him to try to fix Mac Jones because it's like I don't know how.
Let you start over.
Yeah, just
Let's
go
start
ahead.
over.
It's no point. Just see if Minnesota want Mac. Let them see if Mac want to go there to Minnesota.
Well, you can have Sam Howell.
I should take Sam Howell. Sam Howell, like he can throw that thing.
Give me some
You know
recent
what?
upside,
No,
give
wait.
me some
Let me
Sam
build.
Howell.
Give us Sam Howell, and we
I-
go take Marvin Harrison Jr. because he needs some help. He needs
I
some
give
help.
you Sam Howell. He's coming to you, baby.
He needs
He's
some help,
shooting
man. My
right over
boy.
to you.
Oh my goodness, man. Like we throwing to Davontae Parker. And here's another thing too. This is another rant. See, you done got me started. Jacoby Myers is having a career year with the Raiders. Nelson Aguilar is balling out with the Ravens. These guys were doing nothing with us. I wonder why.
What?
Mm.
Bro, what are you talking
I didn't
about,
know it
man?
was Sunday. Could sound like I'm preaching today. I ain't trying to bore y'all. Let's go.
Who you got next, man? Or we're on our last.
Yeah, we're on our last one. So so we both kind of put like Variable and Pete Carroll in the Atlanta category. But who do you want to see Pete? Because it sounded like he
This
did.
is the last one to speak your own.
Yeah, it sounded like he didn't get fired, but kind of like wants to take a lesser position. So they might put him in the front office.
Okay.
So I don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, shout out to Podcast Place where we are doing the podcast
Yes.
once more. Just want to let you know if you are a creator, you want to check out Podcast Place, you can go ahead and Google that, guys. I'm sure you would want to check that out for yourself. All right. So we still got to pay some bills. But going back to what you're saying here. So with Pete Carroll and that situation with Seattle, Pete Carroll has looked the same since I've been in second grade. So it definitely
USC,
doesn't look
yeah.
like he's aged any. I don't know if Pete Carroll gets stressed at all.
He chews a lot of gum for that.
And he does chew a lot of gum. And I will say Pete Carroll could come coach any football team that I
Yeah.
have, for one. With Seattle, I will say this. Since I've been watching football, it's either been Mike Holmgren or it has been Pete Carroll. Okay, so they are pretty like
right there
they
with
know what
Pittsburgh,
they
yeah.
know what they're doing when it comes to finding coaches.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will say that about the owners in Seattle.
Mhm.
Whatever it is that they see their eye on, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But I can assure you it's going to be the guy. Okay, so
think-
I don't know who that is out there, and I just will say this. It is a team that is built to run the football. They have a couple backs. You have Zach Chardonnay out there. You have Kenneth Walker the
I love
third.
Kenneth Walker.
You have great wide receivers in DK Metcalf.
Mhm.
You have Lockett. You have the comeback player of the year in Geno Smith, who was the former third pick overall with the Jets.
Mhm.
You still have
What's that rookie man that's been balling out?
Oh yeah,
Smith and Joke Boot or something like that?
From Ohio State.
The
Yeah, so you
Ohio
still
State,
have,
baby.
You still have him as well. So they have a legit offense.
Mm.
Defensively, they're a little older. They still have Bobby
Bobby,
Wagner.
yeah, but he's,
okay,
like you said-
he's still okay. And I'm not a real believer in Jamal Adams. He plays so hard, he hurts himself.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
so
more of a linebacker than a safety. Honestly,
Yeah.
I would have told him like 5 years ago, just put on 20, 30 pounds and you just going to play linebacker for me.
yeah. He plays like Bam Bam.
He
right?
can't cover for
yeah,
nothing, man.
Yeah, he plays just like well,
Bam
Bam Bam. Bam could cover though. So I will give Cam
yeah.
Thomas. I think is it Cam
Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor. I will give Cam Chancellor his credit.
You thinking about basketball?
No. They did
Cam
have
Thomas.
another Thomas though. They had
Really?
29. He wore Thomas too. He was
Earl
Thomas. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Earl Thomas. So Bam Bam and all those guys,
Yeah.
the Legion of Boom. So he plays the same way, but he plays too hard and he
Yes.
hurts himself. So you still have a pretty good defense.
Mhm.
Okay, but this
But you
is
can rebuild that. Like that, their defense is not like to where it's like it's going to take like 2 years. You can do a good draft and get a few key pieces in free agency, and your defense is elite again.
this is the one coaching thing. Like I just don't know who would go there.
You know who I like for that position?
I don't know.
Ben Johnson.
You like Ben
I
Johnson?
like Ben Johnson.
Okay.
That is if Ben Johnson wants his own team, because they do kind of similar in Detroit. They like to run it.
Or Aaron Glenn. I think if he
The
doesn't
defensive
get,
guy?
if he doesn't get
Okay.
hired in Washington, he played under Pete Carroll when he was with the Patriots, I believe. I think Aaron Glenn did go there for a little bit. I know for sure he played with the Jets. I want to say as a DB, but I think he did maybe get over there for Bill Parcells and
Yeah.
Pete Carroll as well. I'd have to actually look that up, but I think that that's a situation where it fits well
Okay.
for that. But kind of like
I feel like they're gonna, because Pete Carroll was like a defensive guy, they might want to go offense.
yeah,
Because maybe how I see it, Geno, they'll let Geno. This is a perfect scenario. You let Geno play out his contract. You draft the quarterback to sit and develop.
Yeah.
Under Geno.
Yeah.
And you got Ben Johnson there, who's a young offensive minded coach. You can let him build up the quarterback he wants. Let him shop for the groceries and cook the meal he wants to cook. This draft, I mean, you can go draft that guy, Drake May. You can go get one of those young guys,
Mm.
let him sit. Cause the only maybe I don't know, cause I don't the only quarterback I really like out of this draft. I know a lot of people gonna be high on JJ McCarthy out of Michigan right now. Even if you want a JJ McCarthy, let him just sit.
Yeah.
But
We're not in the sitters league, man.
I know, but I feel like,
We're not in the sitters
the
league.
teams like we just talked about with like Pittsburgh and Seattle, I feel like those teams are the ones that will say like, we seen this work before.
Yeah.
The Green Bay included, but they got love. But like, if you're drafting a quarterback while you have one, we know what the plan is, so we're not gonna rush you.
Yeah.
Where do you think? Last topic, I forgot to mention. Where you think old boy gonna go? Harbaugh. You think he's gonna stay in Michigan or come out?
If Harbaugh comes out, the perfect scenario for him is going to be the Chicago Bears.
Ooh,
But the Chicago Bears have already gone on record and saying
Yeah.
they're keeping their own coach.
you got to keep some consistency in there, man.
Jim Harbaugh played there as a quarterback.
Okay, you going in the vault?
Okay, so he played there and he played well. I think he knows that place.
Mm-hmm.
And who else would be the perfect mentor for Justin Fields, who I think he would turn him into a lot of what Kaepernick was as well. I think he would bring that offensive scheme that would unlock
Yeah,
Justin Fields and allow him to.
I
be
think
an
he's
elite
more
player.
dynamic than Cap though. That's even.
Oh, he is.
That's even
He's
scary.
like Cap. He's like Cap on
Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm
Yeah.
just saying that offense
Mm,
where you open it up and
Yeah.
allow him. You need to give him the keys to the Cadillac and let him drive.
Eberflus, you on the hot seat, baby.
Yeah, like dude, he might be a half season.
Yeah.
He might be a half season, a couple. Because let me tell you something. If I go out here and I go trade for a whole bunch of picks and we revamp the roster, I can't. We can't have an 0-4 start or
Yeah.
1-4. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to.
If they do that, if they trade the first overall pick, and let's say they trade down to the top 5, and then they get a whole bunch of picks, they would have done that 2 years in a row, by the way. If they did trade the first pick, and then you get all these talent to help them, and you do good again in free agency, and you go 0-2, get them out of there.
You got to
Get them out of there.
Not when the Texans came back after, basically almost like a decade, it seems like.
Mhm.
But if they were able to come back on a draft class like this, and you can't come back on multiple draft class,
Yeah,
you have
got
got
to go.
to
The GM
go.
got to go too.
You got to go. Everybody got to go. You got to go. Gone.
Yeah,
Gone.
I agree.
All right, guys. So with that being said, man, we're getting ready to get out of here. Davontae, I know you got on your stuff, man. So tell them about your stuff real quickly with the hat, the handle and everything else,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on, Rico. Man, this is a blessing. I'm very thankful. I love talking just with you, man. I know we talk about like basketball and stuff. So yeah, man. I have a clothing brand. It's called 12. The mic's in the way a little bit. Let me move it. It's called 12 Testament. Move this way. Boom. There you go. 12 Testament. It's my little logo right here. I am a Christian. I'm a man of God. I do believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. So every day I try to live that way, whether it's through jujitsu or through just talking sports or just enjoying life. So I do have that, and I do YouTube as well. I don't talk sports on my channel. Well, that's not true. I do jujitsu, so that's a sport in a sense. But yeah, man, if you guys are interested in checking that out, check out my channel, man. I'll be happy to have you guys come through.
Absolutely, man. And so that is Davontae, the real Hogan, joining in the show. It's always special to have him out here. You got his handle right there. If you guys want to follow him, this guy can show you what it's all about with jiu-jitsu, doing lessons and things like that.
I got
so make
you.
sure that you check him out. Also, too, we always love to have him on the show. Again, shout out to Podcast Place, where we are actually doing this podcast today. Shout out to Solomon here, who has been grateful to have us into the
Go,
studio as
baby.
well.
Clutch.
Jumping in there as well. So we will definitely be back for this, guys.
I think we got something here, man.
Yeah,
I think we got-
yeah, man. I
The
feel like
brothers
this
in
is
here
gonna be good.
cooking, man.
I'm looking to see what happens, man. For this.
Yeah.
It's going to drop out there, so I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. You're going to catch this show obviously ahead of the games coming up, so I hope we give you some good insight here. Just want to thank Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, where you can actually find the show. That's actually below in the show notes as well. You got the handle right there. You're actually looking at some of my stuff here. It's on believemoredoubtless.com. You can find that. Let me know, too. Hit me up on the handle. You can get some gear as well. And so for myself, this is Rico. This is Real Talk Sports, guys. I love it. We for sure coming back. Enjoy
Enjoy the games, man.
Wild card weekend.
Let's go, baby.
We're out of here. Peace.